And
3, 2, 1, click.
Welcome to, if I can steal this for a moment because I can't steal DC's, welcome to the Thunderdome, bitches. This is PS Comics I Love You. I guess this is our rebuttal to last week because we spent the first 45 minutes of our show last week ripping DC Comics a new one, only to come back 7 days later and go like, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Okay. I'll give you guys a shot again.
Welcome to lucky episode number 13 of PS Comics I Love You. You can find us on social media. I'll put the links down here. Instagram and Facebook, PS Comics I Love You. Twitter, PS Comics I Love the letter U. I am the voice of reason, Kevin Pillow. You can find me on all social media platforms. That's our show. Voice of Reason 23, the man over here, and I'm still having to point the wrong direction on my camera because my wife hasn't taught me how to use Zoom yet, is the Dark King. What's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, guys. I'm of course JR Kabakun, aka Dark King. You can find me on mostly just Instagram at the moment. At also not JR Comics 42. I need to change that name soon, but then I like it. I do. I like it too, but like I originally had Dark King right as my handle.
Yeah.
And I gave it up, and then the second I gave it up, it was already like taken. Like,
someone's like swoop.
Yeah, it was so funny story, guys. This wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
I had a whole different like full on outline done for something else, which will probably be next week or so. But
yeah,
it was something else entirely. And then this dude called me up like, "Hey, you watching Fandome right now?" Yesterday, I'm like, I'm kind of going, in between, from the late game and to Fandome. It's looking really good. Like, yeah, scrap what you got. We'll just do Fandome because it's really good. I'm like, yeah, it's actually surprisingly really, really well done. Like, it's okay. So for me, I feel like the Fandome is everything that Comic-Con should have been.
I think looking back at it, I think it's what they wanted to have happen. They just didn't have the studios to back it up. For those of you who didn't know, and you can go back a couple of weeks, we did about a 3-part series on Comic-Cons, and it kind of tied in with San Diego Comic-Con at home, which was the virtual Comic-Con for Comic-Con International, aka STCC, aka San Diego Comic-Con. And we did a 3-part series kind of talking about it because there was a lot going on, and they really went back to their grassroots of talking to comic book creators, not movies and stuff like that. And they did some TV show, they did some movie stuff, but it was very much grassroots. And I think that the problem that they ran into with that is they filmed a lot of that stuff for SDCC at home back in June, a month, 6 weeks before the convention was to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas I believe Fandome, which has been planned for about 2 months, started filming their stuff about a week and a half ago. So it was pretty fresh, and there's a lot of stuff because a lot of and we'll get into them as we break it down. A lot of these, a lot of these studios, a lot of these movies, a lot of these moving parts were in hiatus because of COVID. And so they, like I said, they waited to the last minute, and man, did we get our money's worth. So hats off to Warner Brothers. Despite the fact that 10 days ago, they fired half of DC Comics. I know this was probably half what it was meant to be, a mini convention, and half of like, forget what you saw over there. We didn't fire 50,000 people or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I got to say, I didn't catch absolutely everything, which I should have. Because late game yesterday, we won. He's up to Kobe. Kobe's birthday. That's just my small thing. But like, there is a re-showing today, right?
Yes.
There's a re-showing today of most of them, like the main stuff. And so I'm gonna probably just watch over a couple of panels. But there's some, there was some really great tidbits I did see, and there's some great trailers that I did see, and there's a lot of like anxiety that I had towards certain films that were kind of alleviated at that point. the second I saw, like, all right, cool, I'm kind of in now. Which leads up to my, I guess, if I can segue to my very first point. Unless you had a point right now.
I was just to say this is something that we haven't really thought about doing, but we are gonna test kind of on the fly. Is we're going to do some watch-alongs here, and I'm kind of setting it up because for some of you it might be the first time you saw it. Maybe it might be the first time you've seen these videos. It might be okay, I saw them, but I don't get it. This is an opportunity for
us to break it down.
And obviously we have JR, who's really the DC guy, to kind of give us some context. And there is a lot of stuff we want to get to. But what were you gonna say?
I was basically I kind of wanted to segue my first point. Honestly, I should have given you that little small rough draft that I had to probably set up for the first film, which my biggest, I guess, not complaints or anxieties, but more so like, okay, you gotta really try to sell me on this, is of course the Batman trailer.
All right, we're gonna rip the Band-Aid off and go right for the biggins right off the bat.
God,
I actually had set up the Suicide Squad, but we'll go. You know what, bro? We'll go right for
the big
Twilight.
One?
We'll go right with Twilight Sparkle right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I think JR and I had the same kind of, and they're not completely set to rest for me. Mm-hmm. Now I'm hoping that this will work. If we don't get the audio, watch along at home. We are going to go to YouTube, go to the Warner Brothers Pictures YouTube page. Shout out to Warner Brothers. Hey, I still think you did DC wrong. I know that's more of an AT&T call, but hey, you know what? You gave us Fandome yesterday. So let me get this. Go ahead, JR.
As Kevin stand up, I did watch the majority of the stuff, like the trailers, like to rewatch trailers, because when you watch Fandome, it's the good thing they did is they just did one streaming platform rather than multiple, so that's good, right? One of the main problems that I had with the Watch Your Home with Comic-Con is that, even though they did have one streaming platform, they had like another one on IGN. They had a bunch of other ones on different platform sites. They had a bunch of other ones like just showing different things, and it wasn't really a set schedule either. While DC, they set up just straight up on the on their own website. So what you will see here, guys, is definitely the Batman trailer, and I'm just gonna shut up and just have this thing play out, dude. Again, it's not showing audio for me, but I already know the audio, dude. So it's nice anyway.
Okay, so it's a picture. We got a guy duct taping some dude up.
Which honestly I think should be fine, because I think we might get hit with
no more lies.
Yeah.
So I don't know who. See, I don't know who this is.
I know who it is. I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah, I guesstimate.
Okay, the voice, for those of you who can't hear, the voice playing on the background, it sounds like it's right. I can't think of his name, but that's Commissioner Gordon. That's Jim Gordon.
That's Jim.
So again, a little newspaper action. Oh, are we getting some riddles?
Yeah, as I'm saying, you
to the Batman, and there's the first look at Robert Pattinson as the Batman. Russell Crowe, playing the Penguin, but it's not the Penguin.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? We got Bruce Wayne action. Okay, this is our first look at
Catwoman. This is I think it's
Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle.
Yep.
All right, so we get some clown action here, hinting at maybe the Joker, maybe not.
It's a possibility at this point, man. It's a possibility for everything. Honestly, yeah, like it's.
I want to know who that guy is wrapped up in duct tape. Okay, so we got a guy asking who the hell are you supposed to be. I'm thinking, are we going to get the line?
Oof.
Yeah, we're gonna get the old no. I'm vengeance. I was waiting for it. I'm Batman.
Nope.
We get the look at the new Batmobile.
Yep.
Very Arkham Asylum-esque.
Yep.
Very.
Oh man.
And then we get the quote.
Yeah.
Emo Batman shot.
I mean, like, Batman has always been emo, so that's the thing.
Yeah, very, very. And And then we get the tagline. It's question mark 0 question mark 1, hinting at the Joker.
Yeah.
For those of you, the reason I was giving the running commentary for the people on YouTube, obviously, I'm not 100% sure if you guys were getting the audio or not, but for the people listening, thank you, by the way, for everyone supporting us on anchor.fm and all the other audio platforms. So kind of giving the running commentary. We should have done a dry run with the audio, but okay. So we get the Batman trailer. Good, bad. What do we do? Oh, by the way, that movie still in production. It's not done yet.
Yep. Which originally it was supposed to get done, I think, sometime near the end of this year, but then COVID just really screwed up a lot of plans. I think they were supposed to get done with initial shooting, like sometime. Don't quote me on this, but I think sometime around like before like November-ish, or no, not November, like sometime before September, like the end of this month, I think.
Oops.
And that what's up?
Oh, I was setting up the next trailer, and cool. I just didn't want it to distract you. But I forgot I'm not sharing it. So
yeah, but like it's it was supposed to get done sometime this year and released next year, but of course COVID happened, so it just screwed up a lot of plans. So, but overall, man, I enjoyed the hell out of that. Like it's a lot of people are gonna compare it to Christopher Nolan's Batman series. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. No. At this point, it is definitely not a bad thing at this point. And specifically, Batman has always had like a type of theme throughout the iterations, right? Even going far back to to Keaton's Batman, right? Where it's very dark, very brooding. Granted, Val Kilmer's and the Clooney's and the 90s Batman and the Batman and the Bat nipples, they were a different campier era, but this right here, it feels like it's more in line to like to year 2 Batman in DC. People who remember like year 0 and year 1 Batman that was from Miller, it's kind of like year 2.
Yes.
Right.
Now, there is a tie-in that we didn't get the information on yet. Mm-hmm. Something maybe we're going to get in the Fandome Part 2 in about 20 days. Mm-hmm. There's a tie-in. So for those of you who've been clowning on HBO Max, first off, they have basically taken all the content over from DC Universe over to HBO Max. DC Universe is a month from, it's dead in the water right now, but it's going to get shut down.
Yeah.
I think I already canceled my service.
Yeah. Which sucks because like I'm a fan of the animated stuff. So,
and all the animated stuff has already started to move over. I think that's all left is the hardcore animated stuff. They just had the premiere of something this past week. I can't remember what it was.
Harley Quinn.
Anyways, what's up?
Probably the Harley Quinn one.
No, it wasn't a Harley Quinn. I thought it was a Batman, but anyways, regardless. So the same people who produced the Batman, which of course is the Robert Pattinson movie, they're doing a tie-in TV show. It's going to be on HBO Max, and it's going to be called Gotham City PD. And what it's going to do is talk about the corruption within Gotham City PD that leads to the necessity of a vigilante. So I don't think it's a spoiler to say what I just said, because I think that's kind of information that's out there.
Yeah.
But that's the tie-in. It's supposedly, let me pull up the IMDb page here real quick. First of all, for those of you who don't know the cast, let me break this down, because this is probably one of the best all-star casts we've seen in a movie like this. I mean, in the long run, the Christopher Nolan cast was an all-star cast, but it was at the beginning, it was not the names that we know now. So first of all, we got Robert Pattinson playing Bruce Wayne Batman. We've got Zoe Kravitz playing Selena Kyle / Catwoman. Now, mind you, Zoe Kravitz has already played a superhero before. She played, I can't think of her name now. I just had it. It's like, it's not Angel, but she was in X-Men New Class.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the Hellfire.
Yeah. Pixie something.
Pixie something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then for those of you who watch along with us, Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, is played by
Yep.
Colin Farrell. I think I got the name wrong.
That's right.
I think I said Russell Crowe.
Yeah, you said Russell Crowe.
It looks like Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe, are we actually seeing Colin Farrell or are we seeing Russell Crowe? No, it's Colin Farrell is playing the Penguin. Edward Nashton / the Riddler is played by Paul Dano. For those who don't know who Paul Dano is, he's in movies like There Will Be Blood, Little Miss Sunshine, 12 Years a Slave. He was also in... he's probably best known for having a bit role in The Sopranos. He also was back in 2004. He was in The Girl Next Door. That's probably where he's best known for. And once you see him, you go, "Oh, that guy!"
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you have Jeffrey Wright, who also has already will make his debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe next year, is playing Nuatu, the Watcher. Yeah. But he is playing James Gordon. You saw him in the trailer there. Jeffrey Wright supposedly will be in Gotham City PD on HBO Max, playing James. But he's still playing Detective Gordon, not Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. But the biggest, and then you got Andy Serkis, aka Ulysses Claw, is now playing Alfred Pennyworth. So you have Andy Serkis playing Alfred.
Yeah.
But this is the wild card, dude. John Turturro. You know him from Transformers. You know him from The Big Lebowski.
Yep.
As the Jesus.
Yep.
He's playing Carmine Falcone. He's playing the mob boss of Gotham.
You know what? I can see it. He has range. He has a lot. He has really good range, dude. And I can see it.
And maybe he adds that a little because you as a mob boss, like I said, I've been a fan of mob-related titles for a long time. I like Goodfellas. I like Casino. I basically like anything that
it's
Scorsese does.
Yeah.
I will to the day I die will say that The Sopranos was the best show ever made. So you kind of have to have a smart ass side to you, and John Turturro has proven himself time and time again that he can be that wisecracking, maybe borderline smart alecky, funny guy. But I like that cast.
It's ever since I'm telling you, man, ever since they did some wonders with pulling the Joker, even though the production for Batman happened pre-Joker, Wonder Woman honestly set everything off for as in having good karma with just possibly coming to DC to Warner Brothers to do decent, well done Marvel superhero movies that are not Marvel movies, right?
Yeah.
And even though and superhero movies right now have been the big thing to be in if you want to get your money, but now ever since Wonder Woman came out, ever since a good string of basically a good string of DC movies have come out.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of people. We have a lot of really reputable actors and actresses come in and want to do a legitimate quote unquote superhero movie. And you have Robert Pattinson, who aside from Twilight, has been in really good movies. Even up to this point in his career, he has done some offbeat, very very methodical actor movies, right?
Yeah.
I remember him in forget that something with elephants. He did he did a bunch of other movies. I got the name. I'm just drawing a blank right now, but no, I've seen some of his movies, and he's actually a really well thought out actor. And it's just I hate how when someone could be a really good actor, but they're pigeonholed because of Twilight or because of one bad movie or a series of high school movies or whatever. But that's how it is. But here, dude, he looks like he's the part. When people said, "Oh, Robert Pattinson as Batman," I'm like, he has the amount of good brooding in just his look and his just how he stares, where I can see him pull it off, right?
Yeah.
The only complaint I would have probably is his long hair. That's it.
Yeah, and who knows? Because like I said, we don't know the story that's going to be
Yeah.
told here. Like I said, obviously, I don't think they're going to mess with the formula of, obviously he's an orphan, um, yada yada yada. He
Yeah.
becomes infatuated with bats, yada yada yada.
Yeah. It's very much like it. It's very much the same. What I feel is like it's the series looks gonna look like no the movie looks like it's just gonna be about the role gallery of villains that he come across, and that's great. We don't need Joker in the very first movie. We don't need Joker. It'd be
No,
nice to have Joker. Don't get me wrong, but we don't need him. We don't need the monolithic destroyer that is Joker to be in your movie. No, you want to be based it off of just who Batman is, right? That's how Nolan's movies were. You had Batman Begins. It was about Batman, even though you had Scarecrow in it, even though you basically had Ra's al Ghul, which honestly I love Ra's al Ghul, right? In
yeah,
that movie, he was a great freaking character. But then you had the second movie being basically the Joker movie, right? That was basically it. And so what they needed to do is establish what is Robert Pattinson's Batman. Period. That's what they got to do. Even if it means that like it's a different form of Christopher Nolan's Batman. That
yeah.
honestly at this point is an improvement in what we have gotten. Even though I try to give Ben Affleck's Batman a benefit of the doubt.
I like Affleck's bat because I take it for what it is. Is though Affleck is not an old man.
Yeah.
He still takes care of himself because he knows what he is. He's still
Yeah.
considered to be a poster boy.
Mhm.
But I think he played the grizzled vet
Which yeah,
well.
I was fine with that until the point where like one he killed like 80 people, and two he went from like, oh, your mom's name is mine now, is my mom's name, we're fine now, like
That's poor writing and poor
that
directing.
that was a poor writing, poor directing part, and I understand. Like I really liked that aspect of like Ben Affleck possibly being Batman because yeah, I would love to see Mark Miller's Batman. I would love to see that, right?
Yeah.
And then what we got was somewhat close to it, but then it just failed a lot of parts because like Zack Snyder tries to do way too much for one. Like this, and we'll get into the Snyder cut
Oh,
of.
we are going to
We'll
get to
get
Zack
into that.
Snyder. I have him. I
Okay.
bumped him down the list. We will get to him, fans.
Yeah, we'll get to him and yeah. But yeah, overall, man, the trailer, I'm really excited. I really am excited. Like ever since Joker came out, and you go basically now you see DC movies, right? You go to DC movies to probably get if you want to make a legit superhero movie that wants to win awards, you go to DC, you go to Warner Bros.
Yeah, you really
At this
do. I
point.
mean, I will give credit where credit's due. That the oh my gosh, I completely drew a blank on their names. The brothers,
Oh, Coen Brothers,
The Russo brothers,
Bird Brothers. Okay.
the Russo brothers. I mean, they really changed the game with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Um, Someone asked me the other day. He goes, "Do you really think that a comic book movie should be nominated for Best Picture, and what ones?" And I said, "Well, I haven't seen The Joker yet. I have not seen Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, but I have firmly believed that both Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, hands down, were Best Picture quality movies. Dark Knight Rises was a good movie. I think it was cursed by by two things. Number one, it it, it, it was there was just a lot, and it got very comic booky kind of if you can be campy in a dark sense
Yeah, it
with
was.
Bane.
Yeah.
I also think it was cursed with what happened in Colorado.
Yeah.
So you were
Well,
never
no.
going to be able to glorify that movie.
Yeah.
So I would say Nolan's first two outings. I would
Easily.
say The Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Mhm.
You can make an argument for The Winter Soldier. For the Russos' first time out with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and a big budget movie at that, it deserved recognition. I would say, and a lot of people say that Endgame got robbed. Endgame should have been nominated. No, I will say Infinity War was the far superior film. But I would say if there's one MCU movie, I would say Winter Soldier is the one that should have gotten nominated. But you're right. You can do so much more, and I think that's why people. Why do we need another Batman movie? Why not?
Yeah.
I'm actually not getting upset anymore about it. Oh, because you're going to get my money. I like Adam West. I love the campiness of Batman 66. I love the dark, but comical Batman 89.
Yeah.
Batman Returns was Tim Burton being Tim Burton, but with Batman characters. And the Clooney, the Kilmer Batmans were comic booky. They were comic book guys.
Yeah.
The Nolan trilogy.
The
Nolan trilogy was.
That was it. That's the standard. That's the standard for every Batman like DC movie going forward.
Could you imagine, God rest his soul, had Heath Ledger not died, what Dark Knight Rises could have been?
That's the thing. Like I know they scrapped a lot of their script because Heath Ledger passed away.
Because they were thinking about, there was a possibility we were going to get was it Arkham Knights or Arkham?
Some of that. It's like
something like that. Where basically Arkham gets over, everyone gets out of Arkham.
Yeah.
What could have been had.
It's supposed to like the. Yeah,
that's me,
what could have been? Yeah, how about it? What could have been like with the. It's the it's the conundrum of like what could have been. Absolutely, like
absolutely.
If Heath Ledger didn't pass away, he probably would have had his own Joker movie before a Joker movie came out. Period.
Could and we don't know because Bane was very much the main antagonist of Dark Knight Rises, along with Talia al Ghul.
Which
what
it's
could
supposed
have
to be a callback. So
he would have just been a callback like Scarecrow was.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot, do you let Heath Ledger just be a callback, or do you make him the main character again?
You make him because here's the thing. Like if you remember, I absolutely remember that in Dark Knight or in Dark Knight Rises, right? Bruce specifically asked, if he's still in the jail? Like when all of them broke out, is he still in the jail? And it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to leave. He's talking about Joker.
Yeah, and that's always been kind of alluded. That was always kind of alluded in the comics that Joker never wanted to get out.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's the only reason why he would get out is basically just kind of screw with Batman. That was it.
Yeah,
that was mainly it. And that was the reason why Heath Ledger's Joker was, to me, the best Joker. Even more so, I can't say more so to Joaquin Phoenix Joker, because his Joker is a very distinct, there's a very distinct commentary of today's society, and that's a different Joker, right?
Yeah.
What Joker really is he's supposed to be a foil to Batman.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. You're supposed to destroy the idol. How you destroy the idol? You do it with Joker. That was it, and that's the reason why, to me, he's the best. He's the best Joker. But yeah, like I'm deeply excited and very, very, very hopeful to see what we're getting out of of Batman with Robert Pattinson. Like it looks like it's gonna be a new age now for DC movies, and like I can't wait, dude. I really can't wait.
It also should be noted that this was not the only Batman news this past week. It was officially confirmed that not only will we be getting multiple Batmans in the future cinema, we're going to be getting Flash. The only real Flash information we got was that it does all but confirm that we are going to get a Flashpoint style of movie. Which is going to deal with time travel and multiverses. And in Flashpoint, we're just going to I think it's going to be called The Flash, or it's going to be called, I don't know, or maybe it's just going to be called Flash. But I know that since they announced a standalone Flash movie, they have said that it's going to be Flashpoint, which again, in the comic books, it deals with Barry Allen using his super speed to break through the multiverse and stuff like that. And it was very well done in Crisis on Infinite Earth, done on the CW, where Ezra Miller, his Batman or his Flash met up with, and I can never remember the actor's name, the Barry Allen that plays in the CW series, those two cross paths. So it is wink, kind of hinted at that we'll call it the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe, is a multiverse of the in the TV universe. Now, Flashpoint is going to deal with not one but two at this point Batmans. It is confirmed that we will get a reprisal of Michael Keaton and his Batman 89. Now, we do know that in the CW universe, the Crisis on Infinite Earth dealt with Michael Keaton's Batman universe, and they referred to as Earth 89. So it does, for the sake of discussion, Michael Keaton, aka the Batman of Earth 89, does already exist in the DC universe, the DC big screen, or the DC
Extended Universe EU
screen universe, non-comic book universe.
Yeah.
And we do know that with Ezra Miller, his Flash crossing over into the TV universe, the DCEU universe, the Snyderverse, we'll call it that one. We'll call it the Snyderverse, does also exist. And we do know that Ben Affleck will come back to reprise his role as Bruce Wayne and the Cape Crusader in Flashpoint. Now, want to go for the mind blow? The one big DC title that has not been addressed in the DCEU and was never addressed in the Crisis on Infinite Earth would be the Nolanverse. And it is in discussion. Christian Bale very much wants to be a part of the DC universe again as Batman. So we could get Christopher Nolan's Batman back on the big screen, maybe in a cameo, but we could see now the Nolan Earth exist in the multiverse. So
yeah, you know what would be cool though, honestly, because we don't know how long we have left of Batflex.
I think this is going to be it. I think this is going to...
If somehow, like, we get Nolan to basically if we somehow get if you somehow get Christian Bale to be basically what, Frank Miller's Batman's supposed to be, that'd be cool. It ain't gonna happen. But like grizzled, very grizzled, very, one focus, walking tank of a machine, like that to me screams Christian Bale.
Well, what was supposed to happen when they went into production for the Man of Steel sequel, it was supposed to be a Superman sequel that would make the debut of Batman. And then it turned into, why don't we do Batman versus Superman? Yeah. And so what was originally supposed to happen, because people don't realize, is that Christopher Nolan co-produced Man of Steel. And it was hinted at that Henry Cavill's Superman was to Christian Bale's Batman, that Henry Cavill's Metropolis existed in the Nolanverse. I think Metropolis was only mentioned once, maybe in a throwaway line in the Dark Knight trilogy in the Nolanverse. I can't remember, but I think someone told me that Metropolis was referenced, but that the original plan for Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, was supposed to be strictly a Man of Steel sequel, and that a grizzled, old, very a la Frank Miller Batman retired. It's 20 years in the future. That's where they would have tied it in, that Nolan's stories took place where they took place.
Yeah. And it would have been cool, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to be a gripe to, like, I'll be a gripe to Warner Bros. There you go. Where that was the original plan, right? Because we can definitely see a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of studio influence on Snyder, basically, to kind of rush things and like, when you have, I think that was during the time where I think Batman vs. Superman came out in 2017, right? 2017, 2018.
Yeah,
I think 2017.
2017. I'll look
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, and then as well as that was during I think like Avengers 2 around that time frame. Maybe even Civil War happened around that time too.
Yeah.
And people were looking at that Marvel money. Warner Bros was looking at that Marvel money and like, yo,
BVS was 2016.
2016. So that's around the same time anyway. So that's like basically before Civil War.
Yeah.
It's a little during
Right
Civil
around
War.
the same time, yeah.
Around the same time. And so, this is during the time like, yo, why are we making that Marvel money? We got superheroes too. We got, the two greatest superheroes in the world. We got two of the oldest superheroes in the world as well.
Yeah.
And the biggest franchise and like one of the most longest franchise of comics in the world. So why don't we just have our guys basically duke it out? Superman versus Batman. That's the thing, right? We should do this. And like, yeah, when you do that, when people look at money and not story, that's where things get screwed up. So that's what happened. That's a sucky thing. And so to go back to your point though, we're like, what was your original point though? I forgot.
I forgot, but real quick, I just funny is I just got a text message from someone who actually I think is going to be on the podcast in the very near future. We'll use her gimmick name, and it's Tara Cosplay, blowing up saying appreciate. She was saying, "Hey, did you see me on DC Fandome?" Shout out to all the cosplayers out there who got a lot of pub yesterday and the 24-hour live stream of DC Fandome.
Yeah.
Again, cannot say enough good things about what they did to bounce back in less than a week after
crashing.
They were crashing.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do, like I said, I know JR is just chomping at the bit to do an entire podcast dedicated to the Cape Crusader, and I'm sure we could, where we will argue for 2.5 hours about who is a better Batman. I think we will all agree that probably Christian Bale deserves to be at the top, but Robert Pattinson definitely making a name for himself. Mm-hmm. Real quick, I'll end on this on the Batman talk. This is coming from our good friends over at comicbookmovie.com. This was an article written shortly after the Fandome panel yesterday. It says, the headline, the Batman director Matt Reeves has opened up about his and Terrence Winter, who is the creator of the spinoff series, confirming that it delves into the corruption of Gotham City PD and Year One. That's what the TV series is going to do.
Year One. Okay.
Yeah, so here we go. The quote is, you start to see the story from the point of view, this is talking about the TV show. You start to see the story from the point of view of these corrupt cops. One in particular, Reeves told fans, the Gotham PD series will go into the corruption of the Gotham City Police Department. It goes back to Batman Year One. We'll see these characters from a perspective we've never seen before. It does discuss then that the Batman movie will deal with Year Two.
Yep.
However, it says Reeves later noted that the Batman's second year of protecting Gotham City, he still hasn't become a symbol of hope for Gotham City and is considered to be both dangerous and a myth.
Yep.
So it is going back to kind of what we saw in a little bit what we saw in Nolan's movie, where he goes, "Oh, you believe the fairy tales?" It's like he doesn't exist.
Yeah, and that against so like that also calls back to like why he looks the way he looks. Like it looks very like I do remember like one of the quotes saying before too. Like this will be my end thing, where like a lot of his armor, a lot of his placemail piece, right, very reminiscent to Daredevil first season.
Yes.
Very reminiscent Daredevil first season one. Very like just in barely kind of just saying what it is to be vigilante, just basically trying to help out the city, right?
Yeah.
So it's I can't say year one. I can't say year two, or season one in Daredevil, and not really even season two in Daredevil, but like somewhere in between of that, where he's just kind of trying to establish who he is. He's Batman, but not with all the nice gadgets yet. So, other than that, man, that's a big freaking thumbs up for me, man, for that just the movie.
Robert Pattinson's Batman is very similar to that of early Batman Begins Batman, where he's kind of piecing together the suit. And I like the comparison very much. Season one, the black suit Daredevil, he's kind of got the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Wasn't Daredevil yet. He's the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. very grit down and gritty. He, like you said, he has not become. He's a folklore. He's a myth. You know,
He's a myth.
Speaking of myths, I didn't think I'd ever see James Gunn direct another movie after what happened to him in 2017.
They try to cancel that boy.
He is fired. Full on Vince McMahon meets Donald Trump. You're fired. Fired by Disney. He is left like an orphaned puppy on the side of the road, rain coming down. His life is over. His career is over. And who comes and scoops him up? Well, we like dark stuff. Hey, come over here and work for DC Comics. And they said, you did a great job with a bunch of, what's the Rockets line? With a bunch of idiots. And what they do? They gave them a bunch of idiots over at DC. They gave them Suicide Squad. And when people saw that James Gunn was going to direct Suicide Squad, people were like, oh, wait a minute. You made a tree talk and a raccoon a smartass. What can you do with Harley Quinn and her band of misfits? Well, we're about to see the roll call and then the behind-the-scenes footage that they did. We don't have an official trailer. They're still editing the movie right now. They are done with principal photography. They are now in okay. Oh, I found a way. Here we go. Share computer sound. That would help, Kevin.
Nice.
So we might actually have the sound now. Here is the roll call for James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Can you hear, JR?
You know the deal.
Yeah, okay.
Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
Viola Davis is back.
Yeah, I can't believe they got her back. That's crazy, dude.
Welcome to Task Force X.
Joel
These are your
Kinnaman's
brothers and
back.
sisters for the next few days.
Rick Flag.
Michael Rooker. Of course they got Michael Rooker, dude. Okay.
Yeah, don't know the character. And there she is.
Carl. Yep.
Margot Robbie back. As my son said, wait a minute, he's a real polka dot man?
Yep.
Daniela Musser as a rat catcher. And there it is. The big swerve. Blood sport, not dead shot. King Shark. I don't know much about this character. Mongal. Peter Capaldi, the doctor.
And it's like it's lagging for me a little bit, but
Pete Davidson. People were worried about him, and then we go with a fan favorite, Nathan Fillion.
yep. I can't believe we got Nathan Fillion, dude. It's crazy.
Well, you got to find a role for the director's brother, Sean Gunn, playing Weasel. And Jay Courtney coming back as Captain Boomerang.
Yep.
And you can't see him, the Peacemaker, John Cena. Very reminiscent. I love the artwork, by the way. Very reminiscent of Suicide Squad #1, which I have officially added to my my wish list. I gotta hand it. James Gunn with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I know this probably goes more to the marketing department.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out with the artwork for Guardians of the Galaxy, it was very much a callback to the block lettering was kind of a callback to the old lettering from the comic book. The Suicide Squad logo, when someone asked me, goes, why'd they change it? Why did they, like, first off, why do we need a reboot? The movie sucked the first time. And I said, that's probably why you need a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I like the logo. First off, right off the bat, I like the logo. It's very much a callback to the old Suicide Squad #1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we saw that. Viola Davis back as Amanda Waller. Colonel Flag back, same character.
Yep.
Obviously, the $1 Billion Princess, Margot Robbie back as Harley Quinn.
Harley.
I like the look, and we'll see here in a second. We're going to show the behind the scenes. You'll get to see Harley in action.
Yeah.
A very comic book-esque Harley Quinn.
Yeah, if anything, that design actually more so it did originate from, I think, from a certain, I think it was either from Suicide Squad like 2016, but then it was made more famous during the Injustice video games from Warner
Yes.
Bros. So, but yeah, that one I'm glad they chose that one because one, it's James Gunn. He's very much gonna be, you know, he's gonna be in continuity with comics. And
Yes.
that's the reason why I loved it, right? One of my biggest gripes from the old movie was that there was not really any continuity, but at the same time, he just threw in stuff. The old director just threw in stuff in there to see what stuck, and the only thing that stuck was
Yeah. Good point.
was Harley Quinn. The only thing that's the only thing that's really stuck.
And
so,
even then, a lot of people still trashed Margot Robbie's version of Harley Quinn. They was too scantily clad.
Well, she was too super sexualized, and that was I can really more so bunk down the director because I seen his other stuff.
Yeah. Now I will say this, that if you go back and you read what Harley is, she is messed up in the head. And they did a very good job on that part in the original Suicide Squad. And I have not seen Birds of Prey yet. I heard it wasn't great. They've already canned the sequel. We're not getting a sequel to Birds of Prey.
No surprise there.
But yeah, I mean, it was almost too overly sexualized. And as a guy who can enjoy locker room stuff from time to time, I was almost kind of like, when I first saw it, I was like, bro, like, because then I said, people are going to cosplay this and it's just going to create problems at Comic-Cons. And some people have gotten away with it. And some people go like, no, doesn't work for me. But we're going to say here in a second, the behind the scenes footage, there is no official trailer yet for James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That was just a roll call. Now, for those of you who did notice, though, we did see what's going to be a major CGI character in the form of King Shark.
Yep. Oh my god, I can't believe that King Shark, dude. That's so freaking awesome. That's such a callback, bro.
And if anybody has seen the Harley Quinn comic book, the Harley Quinn cartoon that's now available on HBO Max, season 1 and season 2, and you do get to see a heavily sexualized Harley Quinn. It's no spoiler alert that there is a platonic relationship between Harley and, well, I don't know. I don't know how the best way to describe it.
You mean
between Harley and Ivy?
Oh no, it's they've been a couple.
Yeah, and it's a callback to the comic. It was like, oh my gosh, they're just being dirty in the comic. No, the cartoon is based on the comic. There has been flirtation and full on consummation of the relationship in comic book form between Ivy and Harley. And I think Harley is very much a lot like Deadpool. That Deadpool's sexuality is very fluid. Yeah, Harley's is as well. Harley is always going to be infatuated with Joker.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's so okay. Small little tidbit. Sorry, before you when you put up the other movie. Small little tidbit. For those who don't know, in the recent DC series that came out in the last couple of years now or so, with the comic book series where DC's happened. So those who know Harley Quinn and Ivy's relationship, they've been on and off for a while, mainly because Harley can't get rid of Joker, right? In the DC series, Ivy helps out Harley basically kill Joker with a shotgun, and I freaking here for it. And so when I shotgun, like, they kill him. They kill zombie Joker. So we're cool. Like, it's just like Harley's sexuality, right, has been a topic of discussion for the last couple of years now, right? She has been ever since Suicide Squad 1, she's been put up as this, like, this sex icon, icon over basically an icon for girls, right? We have women, but at the same time, girls also want to be Harley.
This is the rebel.
Yeah. So it's you want to have daddy's little monster tee with a baseball bat. So I get it, I understand it. It's just that representation of Harley isn't Harley at all.
It's a microcosm.
It's a very small look at who Harley. Like, it's the same way where it's me saying that like the comic book version of that Harley Quinn and how she looks is nowhere near, right? In the same way I could say that the version in Suicide Squad's Joker is nowhere near like our Joker we know.
No.
So you gotta say everything like that whole movie. The whole movie Suicide Squad 1 is basically its own entity universe. And then James Gunn came in, and then James Gunn's coming in and he's doing his own thing on it, which is basically up from here, which is good.
Yeah. People need to realize too is, and it's what's so, I go back to what Kevin Smith said at a convention about 3 years ago. Someone asked him, basically, they teed him up to trash on Batman versus Superman. He goes, I'm not going to do it. I have an opinion of the movie. Whether I liked it or didn't like it is my opinion. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do is, we got a freaking Batman versus Superman movie with Joker. I'm on the fence of actually seeing the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. I've heard about it. I've read stuff about it, what he stands for, and from a political standpoint, I have a hard time supporting the meaning behind that movie. Yeah. But other than that, if someone said, "Well, would you want that movie to be made?" Yes. I want the Joker movie to be made, because guess what? If they stop making Joker movies, guess what? They're going to stop making Batman movies. They're going to stop making Superman movies. They're going to stop making Iron Man movies. They're going to stop making Avengers, Justice League, whatever. Good, bad, or indifferent, if they stop making those kind of movies, we're going to not have anything to talk about. We're not going to have anything to argue about. They'll go from there. They'll stop making Star Wars. They'll stop making Star Trek. They'll stop making Old Guard. Netflix will have nothing to produce.
So my biggest takeaway from even though absolutely, even though I dislike, I have a huge dislike for Zack Snyder's run of DC movies, right?
As do I.
Granted, I think for me his best DC movie was Superman, right?
Man of Steel, I agree.
Even if you included Watchmen, right? I really
can't
enjoyed
stand Watchmen. Oh, I tried, JR.
I know. I hate it. I don't. It was.
And you've read the book.
It was very, very, very rushed, very streamline-esque. We can have a whole nother conversation about
and
that.
And it's a series.
I plan to.
I've never read The Watchmen.
Okay.
Based on what I've heard about I want to read the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Based on what I haven't even freaking read Doomsday Clock yet.
Oh man.
The Watchmen was made perfectly to be adapted into a movie.
Yeah.
And you're right, it was pushed.
Yeah, here's the thing. If The Watchmen was made today, in today's stream, better movie. It would have been a much better movie because what The Watchmen originally was supposed to be was it's supposed to be a critique of superheroes. That was the biggest thing. That was Mark Miller's thing. That was a theme, right? When you have, I'm gonna get on a rant now, and I try not to.
I think it's proven itself that The Watchmen on HBO has done what the comic book was supposed to be on screen, and I think, dare I say, The Boys on Amazon Prime, which is going to be my next binge watch. Yeah. Both my wife and I are going to add that. I've added The Old Guard. I still haven't watched it. Old Guard is on at the front of my Netflix queue. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to sit down. I'm gonna have to do a lunch break viewing of that one. But The Boys definitely is. I think to me, it has a little bit of the Watchmen taste to it.
Yeah.
And from what I've read on all the descriptions, they're like, oh yeah, this is like what Watchmen is supposed to be. But then we got The Watchmen.
Yeah.
On HBO, and I highly recommend it. It's up for many Emmys. But moving right along.
Oh yeah, the original point.
We have the Suicide Squad here. Have you seen this one, JR?
I have.
Okay, did I hit the right one? Let me.
Yeah, that's right. It's the right one.
I know. No, I'm making sure I hit the right button. Oh, I did. Okay, share computer sound.
Yeah.
Okay, we're and I got to make sure the volume's down. I was a little too loud on JR. Okay, so here is behind the scenes Fandome exclusive sneak peek at James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
I think it's going to surprise people.
You kind of sit there and go, How did they do that?
It's going to be different from any superhero movie ever made.
Polka Dot Man, yes. See right
There's
there.
no one better in the world to direct the Suicide Squad than James Gunn.
I was excited with an opportunity to be able to do the Suicide Squad in the way it could be done from my point of view.
This one is completely unique. This is a gritty 1970s war movie combined with the brilliance of James Gunn's characters and comedy.
You need your director to set the vibe.
The Suicide Squad is just a twisted fantasy of characters.
Within each of our characters, there's a certain beauty. Within most of them. Some of them are just pretty crappy through and through.
Can't believe you got it.
Captain America.
That's the best line right
The guy
there.
who believes in peace.
They hired me
at
to be a
any
douchey
cost,
Captain
no matter
America.
how many people he needs to kill along the way.
Okay, I got it.
Don't ever settle back like you think you know where this is going, because you don't.
As soon as you have some sense about what's about to happen next, James comes in.
Everyone's exploding. Genitals, heads, arms, legs.
It's like a big, massive graphic novel brought to life.
Bingo.
This is by far the biggest movie I've ever made.
I don't
DC
think
paid him
you
to say
know
that.
what to expect.
Don't get too attached.
This has been truly the greatest, most exciting journey of my life making this film.
Cut. That was great.
Yeah.
That was good. I enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah. That's the first time you've seen it, right?
No, I watched it already.
Okay. One of the things I took away from that immediately was a very Harley Quinn, more rebirth, but very much a Harley Quinn. What's the word I'm looking for? Comic accurate comic.
Yeah.
A little bit of the zany, kind of the black and white costume we saw in the animated series.
Okay.
You know, the old school costume with it's a modern. She is, let's call it what it is. She's drawn to be hot character. And let me pull this up real quick. I have a screenshot. Shout out to our boy Empty Tombs Comics. He posted this yesterday. By the way, already claimed it, so don't even try to steal it from me. I got this added to my pull list with him. This is from DC Universe's Rebirth Suicide Squad issue number 1.
Oh yeah.
And that is the version of Harley that we are getting in Suicide Squad. It should be noted for those of you who are collecting that run of Suicide Squad, hold on to those issues because allegedly James Gunn pulled a lot of characters and a lot of the storyline from the Rebirth storyline of Suicide Squad, along with other storylines. This jumped up yesterday as the day rolled on and the panels were going on. What's it called? Key Collector just went off yesterday. Suicide Squad number 2 from the Rebirth has become a key issue. It's only jumped up about $1, but I'm sure it'd be one of those books like, might just double in price, like go from a $3 or $4 book to maybe an $8 to $10 book. But still, first appearance of Amelia Harcourt, who the character is confirmed for Suicide Squad. They're calling it Suicide Squad 2. All Flash, Fightin' 5, Superman number 4, first appearance of Bloodsport. This is the cover that I was talking about. This is Suicide Squad number 1. This is from no, this is from 1987.
Oh, that one. Okay.
This one. This is the cover I was talking about that James Gunn said that he kind of was inspired by. Bring it up real quick. Where'd it go? Sharing is positive. Okay. Yeah. Trust the phone, knucklehead. That's the cover. So see how the font is very similar to that you saw in that call out trailer. So maybe it's not, exactly, but it's very similar. But there's a rundown of the original cast that's or the original lineup from Suicide Squad #1, and so this become a key issue. First appearance of Onslaught, aka Jihad. Chimera, Nightshade, basically a lot of the characters that's going to make appearances, and it's going to be Trial by Fire. The Trial by Fire storyline, which James Gunn said inspired his version of the movie that is Suicide Squad #1 through #8 from 1987. So again, if you're sitting on some long boxes, check them out. See if you've got Suicide Squad. Those books are probably going to go up over the next 12 months. So, what were some of the things that kind of jumped at you on that trailer? Like, what were some like, whoa, kind of?
No, it's the first time seeing that. That's my second time seeing it, but just seeing that from the first time before, it very much felt like a James Gunn film. Yeah, that was the biggest thing, which is great because the first film was just dramatically different, and the first film felt like a guy who's been doing basically police movies his entire life is trying to basically imitate Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, right?
You're talking about the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this movie just totally different. It has its own style, has its own life, has its own basic premise, and that's great, right? It's very, very comic accurate, and a lot of characters, like even the costumes, right? The thing that struck out to me is the costumes were very campy, and I love that. You got I forgot her name, Mongal, right? That's a very one-off character. That's a character you don't know until you actually, like, even for me as a comic book nerd, that struck me as like, whoa, you got Mongal in here? Mongal, is supposed to be, the female version of Mongol.
Yeah.
Mongol, right, is a Superman enemy. And so how she's painted orange. And I'm like, of course James Gunn would paint a character orange in his film, because he painted freaking Drax full on blue in Guardians of the Galaxy, and everybody else, and Michael Rooker and Gamora green, and as well as Michael Rooker being blue as well. So absolutely. All right, this is very comic accurate. And you got Harley Quinn, basically Harley Quinn. You got Bloodshot, Idris Elba.
Ooh, which I didn't.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I know I got a lot of texts yesterday from friends that are saying, whoa, Idris Elba is not playing Deadshot. And I go, yeah, I was surprised too that he's playing, because I even had to take a double take. I'm like, wait, is it Bloodsport? Is that a new character? And then I'm like, wait, I've heard of Bloodsport before. And then I went back and I saw the Superman #4 cover. I'm like, oh, I remember him, because Bloodsport was a B-list villain of Superman.
Yeah.
He made a couple of one-off appearances in the years following the death of Superman. I think he may have made an appearance right around like the reign of Superman. I have to double check, but very iconic cover of his first appearance. Very reminiscent of, it almost kind of reminds me of that famous Daredevil cover where Daredevil has the revolver and he's gonna
shoot.
But,
it was, that's what reminded me of, like, it was very much like very comic accurate type of features, which surprised me, because like DC, DC as a movie company, right?
Yeah.
Have not really been very much, comic accurate in majority of their films, right? Even with Wonder Woman, right? Which we'll get to that eventually. Yep. Even with Nolan's Batmans, even with Nolan's Batmans, and especially with Joker, and definitely with Justice League, right? They're not necessarily too comic accurate, but this one is to me is the most close to comics as possible for me, and I'm chilling, man. I'm cool with it, dude. Like that looks really cool. That they're going from a full-on single run, even though yes, BVS was Batman vs Superman original run, but this one looks good.
It looks good. Now, it should be noted that sort of looking for The first Suicide Squad had a absolutely killer trailer. If anybody can remember it, they did it to Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, that's the second trailer. That was the second trailer.
Yeah, I mean, really killer trailer, flop of a movie. It also should be noted a lot of people are. So I have my hopes for it. I really do have my high hopes for both Suicide Squad and the Batman. I will go and see both. I promise I will finally see the Joker as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other things before we move along to the other trailers and stuff like that. It should be noted that a lot of people are wanting to know, who does Taika Waititi play in the Suicide Squad? If you saw both trailers, you see all the major characters hinted at and their actors named. The one person who did not have their actor named was King Shark. So are we going to get Taika Waititi, aka the director of Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder, and of course the man who played Korg? Is he going to play King Shark? We will have to wait and find out, I guess.
Yeah.
They are very much keeping that under wraps.
I do know that a lot of those characters are most likely will die, as akin to the Suicide Squad run. So that's the reason why I've got so many characters. Most likely, a lot of them are going to die. So that'll be interesting.
Of course, not to be outdone by James Gunn's Suicide Squad, there was some other Suicide Squad news coming out yesterday, and this is on the small screen. This is about video games. The first trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been released.
Yep.
Though I did not get a chance to find it yet.
It's made by Rocksteady Games, Warner Bros. Again. And actually, no, I think it's not what.
Actually, I think I do have it here. Actually, I found it.
It's either by Rocksteady. Yeah, I think it's either Rocksteady or it's from we call it NetherRealms. I can't forget. I can't remember which one.
Let me bring it up here real quick. Well, why don't we do this? It's a bit of a long trailer, but you can break this down so we're not just a single minded. So we're going to take a look at this real quick. This is the first time I've seen it, so I can react to it live. Yeah. This is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There's a tagline for you. Yeah. Oh my goodness. See some video game.
Yeah.
And this is all from DC Fandome yesterday, guys.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers killing it. Woo. Okay, so this is from the Arkham series. So this belongs in this. This is the same universe.
Yeah, this is the Rocksteady. The Rocksteady company.
There you go. Ruh-roh. That doesn't look like Metropolis.
Give me a sit rep. I've got eyes on the target. Air support is getting cut to pieces. Where the hell are you? I'm going in.
What? This looks like very Harley Quinn-esque. So for those of us on the audio side, we're seeing an animated Metropolis.
Yeah.
Task Force X has lost the target.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Taking heavy fire. Get to Park Ridge ASAP. Don't worry.
I'm pretty sure that's Laura Bailey voice acting.
Hey, Boomer! Lay down suppressant fire.
Keep it down, Hal. The ears are still ringing after that last Barney.
Oh, he called her. I thought he was calling him Boomer, but it's Boomerang.
Australian for hangover?
I believe
that shot right there.
Boomerang has a concussion.
And that's King Shark.
King Shark.
From the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Uh-oh. Dead shot missed?
Those teeth are sharper than your eyes, Shark Man. I never
miss.
Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Task Force X. Alpha target is in the open. Get your asses to the Metropolis Grand Hotel and
I think I'm gonna have to get this video game. This looks awesome. I know this is very cinematic of it, but
yeah.
We do not own the rights to this song. This is from the trailer.
Yeah. Make lore. Just in case.
Boom. This looks like it's gonna be awesome. Oh my goodness. So we got King Shark, Deadshot, Boomerang, Harley Quinn are your Task Force X team.
Yep.
Very Boba Fett style Deadshot.
Yep. And here's the big reveal.
Smooth.
Well, that should knock a few years off the old sentence.
That's reminded me of something. Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who are we supposed to be killing again?
Uh-oh. Who
Here
are we supposed
is-
to be killing?
You'll see.
Uh-oh. We see a picture of, looks like the red and the blue.
Look, it's Superman.
It's Superman.
The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
What a show off. Beat it, Spandex! We're on a top secret assassination mission here.
No.
Uh-oh. And we just saw Superman disintegrate someone. That is not Superman.
That's Superman. It's him.
So, figure out who we're killing yet?
Yeah. Looks like John Cena.
Yeah.
Done that, Shark.
Kill the Justice League 2022. So we're about 2 years out from the new art, from the new video game. I thought that would be fun.
I told you. So this is my realm right here. So Rocksteady,
on, bro.
The Rocksteady crew, right? They made the Arkham series, right? If you remember, if you have ever seen any or played any of the old Batman games, that's happened. Not old, but like that happened in the last, let's say 10 years, right?
The Arkham Knights and the Arkham,
Yeah, Arkham Knight, Batman, Arkham City, I think, yeah, and Batman Arkham Asylum, right? That's the first one. This is from the same guys that made that movie or that made those games, and so it's already in really well done hands. It's done. It's gonna be done in 2 years or released in 2 years on newer platforms. So basically, your PS5, your Xbox One X series, blah blah blah, and PC, right? So overall, I'm hoping it's gonna be similar to to Arkham, basically. We'll look in how you get maneuverability, how you get different characters now, how you will basically kind of just try to stop Superman, possibly even Batman, and all the other Justice League members. And yeah, from looks like from just seeing what it looks like that Brainiac, basically invaded Metropolis and took over the minds of Justice League. That's what I'm getting at, possibly.
Yeah, that's I have it here. There's a brief synopsis from Rocksteady Games and DC. The creators of the Batman Arkham series are back with a brand new action-driven adventure shooter. The most dangerous villains in the DC universe have been forced to team up to take on a new mission: kill the Justice League, create chaos in Metropolis. You are the Suicide Squad. It seems as if Harley Quinn, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and Deadshot will be the 4 playable leads, and they're tasked with taking down the Justice League after Brainiac attacks Metropolis, which seemingly leads to the turning evil based on Superman's shocking actions.
Yep.
The downside about this, JR, is we are not getting it until 2022.
That's fine.
But yeah, it says right here, they said the game is not yet completed. So yeah, it's very much going to be a next-gen game. Sign me up.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Also, they came out with I don't know if you have this game up here yet, but they coming up with another game that's coming out soon. Yeah, it's called Arkham Knights.
Oh, that's right. I did hear that they were going to do another one.
Yeah.
It's
made from the same guys.
Yeah, Warner Brothers Media really hitting a home run yesterday with the video game side as well. I'll have to look it up and see if it's over here. Not
Gotham Knights it's for those who don't know, I'll just talk about it anyway when you pick it up.
Go ahead.
So
they haven't posted anything yet. I saw it up yesterday, but I think they took some of it down. So
yeah, no, it's so Gotham Knights is basically what happened after the last Batman Arkham game, right? So for those who spoiler alert, supposedly, presumptively, when you do 100% in everything, all the things you can possibly do in the last Batman game, you have this final cut scene where 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 Bruce, I think that's what happens. Yeah, where Bruce goes back to is revealed as Batman, right? He's revealed as Batman, and he goes into his home, and his home basically is destroyed, like it blows up in an explosion the second he enters the door. So so people are assuming that, oh, he's dead. Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman, is dead. And in the new trailer that happened yesterday, or basically last night, Bruce Wayne postmortem sends every one of his kids, a message saying that, hey, if you get a message, I'm most likely dead. So it's up to you guys, honestly, because I know I can trust you guys to basically keep Gotham safe. And so this is what, when you do find a trailer, this is what Gotham Knights is, and it's cool. We get Jason Todd, my favorite Robin. We get Dick Grayson, Nightwing. We get Tim. I forgot Tim's last name, but we get Tim in there, who was honestly, from what people say, that he's probably the best Robin. And then we also get Barbara Gordon, who is Batgirl. So we get those four. We're missing Damian. We're missing Cassandra Cain. We're also missing Stephanie Brown's Batgirl too. But yeah, we're missing like at least 3 other characters. But the main 4 right now are basically your old school, the ones that we've had forever. So I'm cool with it. The gameplay looks nice. The game. Oh yeah. If you can find the game, like, I'm pretty. Yeah, they're doing that as well. Like the people that are doing Suicide Squad are also doing this game as well. So Rocksteady, they got a lot on their plate, and which is cool. Cool because they haven't been doing anything after the last Batman game anyway. So.
Looking at the rundown yesterday, a lot of stuff were kind of brief. Gotham Knights official gameplay walkthrough. That's what it's called. Yep. That's okay. Yep. Sorry, I'm sure you should have said that, but I finally just found it. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, do the trailer. The walkthrough is like 9 minutes. That's why.
Oh, okay. Let me see if they have the trailer for it here. Yeah.
The walkthrough is like 9-10 minutes. You go against.
I'm loving the Batgirl costume, the purple and gold.
Yeah, that's very New 52, rebirth type stuff. Like, good, awesome. They got the
the walkthrough is like 7 minutes. I don't think they have the trailer posted yet, do they?
I think they do. They should just put Gotham Knights.
Maybe this is
reveal. It. Yeah.
Is this it? This is 4:48. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So let me bring this up real quick. For those who don't know, again, world premiere trailer, Gotham Knights, number 18 trending on YouTube right now. Again, guys, as I kind of load this up, this is our DC Fandome reaction episode. For those of you listening to us on the audio format, we're gonna get to the big hitters here in just a moment. But let's take a look at this Gotham Knights. And you said this is Rocksteady as well.
I'm pretty sure this is Rocksteady because it's a very similar game. I'm pretty sure it's Rocksteady.
In breaking news, we've received reports of an explosion somewhere north of the city.
We're still waiting for the police to confirm if there are any victims.
You can still hear it, right?
Evolving rapidly. Yeah. Please bear with us.
We are just really loud.
You say Rocksteady right here.
Emergency services have confirmed that they've discovered a body buried in the wreckage. We're still waiting for further details.
Emergency vehicles are a large portion of the building has
This is a Warner Brothers game.
Montreal. Oh, Montreal. Never mind.
We're now able to confirm.
Okay, it's not Rocksteady.
Billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne
hinting at that Bruce Wayne was dead.
Yeah, was killed. So this is basically right after the last Arkham game.
Okay, so it still exists in the same universe.
Yeah.
Because it was determined yesterday during the panel that the Suicide Squad game does exist in the Arkham universe. So.
Yep.
If you're watching this, I'm dead.
Bruce.
This is a code black.
That's Jason.
Jason Todd.
Yep, he was also in the last game as well.
This message was automatically triggered when I destroyed the cave and everything it contained. We both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize the Batman is gone.
Looks like Barbara Gordon.
Yep.
And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted.
And this one too, Jim died.
Gotham will need its protectors more than ever.
That looks like a Dick Grayson.
Yep, that's Dick.
I'm leaving you the Belfry as base of operations.
Ooh.
Some of the technology.
We saw the blue and the black. We know what that means.
But it has the gear you need and all of my files.
That right there is Tim Drake.
Tim Drake.
You've always
So
had my back,
already
man.
we've seen 3 Robins.
I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
So what does that mean? Who are we going to see? Nightwing, Batgirl.
Oh yeah.
Robin and the Red Hood.
Batman. Look at that.
Oh, this has got Spider-Man written all over. This is like that very open world.
Yep. Yeah, if you didn't know, Batman was actually inspired from these games. These games came out first, that's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's very much that same essence.
Woo! Batgirl.
Yep.
Nightwing. And it's the Red Hood,
yeah.
right?
Hell yeah.
And that's Tim Drake.
No, that's Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, that's right.
Yeah.
I get the Robins confused.
Yeah, dude, don't worry about it.
I know that right when I said that Tim Drake, I know that Atner's yelling at the screen. Sorry, Atner.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
I'm having so much fun with this game.
I've got the controller in my hand right now. I'm going, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Oh, this game's giving me anxiety already.
Oh man.
Love that. Love the callback to the Mr. Freeze.
Yep.
I love that Batpod, the callback to the Nolan. Gotham Knights. Oh, I heard did I hear a little?
No one talks about them.
It wasn't laugh. Yeah, this is the let's go. Court of the Owls, baby. Court of the Owls.
Not a whisper word.
Oh, this is what my buddy was talking about yesterday.
Court of the Owls, man. If Court of the Owls is happening, that means Damien's back somewhere.
For if you
Damian Wayne.
cross them,
The love child of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul. Yep. Ugh. So happy.
Now, it should be noted too, going back with all these interconnected storylines that's been going on with creating universes and whatnot. I got to say that I forgot to mention before that there are people hinting at the Robert Pattinson Batman, that it is designed to be 3 to 4 movies long based on the success. And it has been hinted at that the end game for the Matt Reeves Batman series is to get to Hush.
Ooh.
I forgot to mention that earlier. It just reminded me when I saw the Court of the Owls, it reminded me of a conversation I was having with a couple of my friends yesterday who are huge Batman fans, and said that both that trailer and the Batman trailer are thinking, "Ooh, could this get to Hush?" And I don't know as much about that storyline as you do. I know that's the end all. I know people hold up the Frank Miller Dark Knight series as the Bible of Batman. Obviously, The Killing Joke is one of the other huge Batman storylines. People want to, well, what about the Nightfall? And I'm like, no, you cannot compare to the Breaking the Bat, Bane, the original Bane storyline.
Yeah. It's here's the thing. Like every one of those runs that you've talked about have its own, like, it are technically its own era, right?
Yeah.
You have dude, the Hush series run with Jim Lee at the pen, with Jim Lee at doing the art, dude, was that era. It was if I remember correctly, 2000s. the mid 2000s run. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check just to.
And it was pre Rebirth too.
Yeah, it was way Rebirth. It was during like I guess the Silver Age like
it's prior to New 52 as well.
No, yeah, like it was like our Silver Age of our. It was okay. The actual timeline is actually is post crisis. It's post crisis DC. So it was after the event. That's basically the Superman that you and I know and fell in love with. That's also the Batman that you and I know fell in love with.
Yeah.
Where it's that run, and so Hush series was basically the pinnacle. To me, was the pinnacle of that. It showed, Batman, at his wit's end, which is crazy to think, where he's facing an enemy that knows him way more so than any other character, even Joker at that point.
Yeah.
And that was it was insane. And not only that, but like how everything, like it made Hush made every character, nearly every villain in Batman's Rogue Gallery relevant, basically. Like it brought them back to prominence and saying, hey, this is an actual, these characters, these villains in Batman series aren't your typical campy villains. They have their own motive, they have their own motivations, they have their own goals, they have their own feelings and such. And so yeah, if they get to that, dude, they got to introduce so much stuff. They got to introduce Ivy. They got to introduce a proper Two-Face. They got to introduce a proper Penguin. They got to introduce Joker again. And when they do that, man, when they have all the proper recipes to do this Hush run, because honestly, I don't know how they can probably streamline this. They tried to do it with the animated run, but the animated run wasn't that great anyway. But if you do this legit and honest, it might be the greatest Batman story they have told.
That's what people say.
It might be the greatest Batman story that they will tell on screen. No joke. If they do this Hush run properly and give it due diligence, it might be one of the better stories it will be on par, if not better than Nolan's run of Batman. Not better.
Oh, yeah. To see some fillers too, because they stuffed a lot into DC Fandome.
Yeah.
Let's take a look real quick at the TV side since we were on it. During DC Fandome, it was confirmed that a third season of Titans will be coming to HBO Max, and we will see, just like we just saw in the Gotham Knights trailer for the video game, we are going to see Red Hood, Barbara Gordon, and a unique new take on Dr. Jonathan Crane.
Really?
Titans Season 3. There is no official launch date for it, but again, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, is that Titans has officially moved from DC Universe, the DC Universe platform, and has officially joined HBO Max. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing a Barbara Gordon and whatnot on. Now it should be noted too, in Titans, a lot of people. Let's call it what it is. A lot of people know the Titans from the Teen Titans run in cartoon form. You had the Teen Titans, and then you had the Teen Titans Go, funny animated version of the group.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Keith. So the Robin that's in Titans is Dick Grayson.
Yes.
Okay. Dick Grayson is Nightwing.
Yep.
In Titans, the TV show on HBO Max, that is he plays Nightwing. Is he? I thought he evolved. Did he become Nightwing in season 2?
I think so. I just don't remember. I haven't watched all of season 2 yet. That's the thing.
But in season 1, he's still Robin.
Yeah, it's like I'm not giving too much away. Yeah. There's falling out between him and Batman.
Spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah. just watch. For those who don't know, just watch the series, man. It's actually a really good series. I thought at first it was gonna be very emo-esque, very in the realm of Snyder.
A lot of people did.
But like honestly, it's actually really good. It's actually well thought out. It's and just giving it the HBO treatment now. I'm like, oh, where are they gonna go with it now?
Yeah.
Are they gonna go full on like just crazy now? Like, oh crap, man. Because if you introduce Jason Todd, if they introduce Red Hood, are we gonna see body bag filled with are we gonna see duffel bags filled with heads of mob bosses being thrown around somewhere? Are we gonna get that again? I'm like, that's gonna be nice then.
So we will see what that leads to. Again, season 3, no release date yet. Also, coming out of DC Fandome yesterday, we got some concept art of the Great One, aka Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, aka the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment. The latest
today.
He is going to be playing Black Adam.
Yep.
And he is going to get his own movie in the DC Extended Universe. And it should be noted that we're talking official artwork is coming by way of not only the great Jim Lee, but our boy, the man who just simply goes by two names, but compressed down to one, Boss Logic, making it big time. His artwork is now being like almost classified as canon. I trying to find where it was. I think they've already taken it down, but
probably did. Yeah.
That again, we'll throw that up maybe on the Facebook page a little bit later if I can find it. I just had it, and then I think they took it down. But anyways, no release date yet for Black Adam, but they are kind of in pre-production.
Yeah.
It says right here though, you'll get the anti-hero's origin story, and we are going to get the Justice Society of America in Black Adam.
Oh gosh, then I hope. Well, you know me, I'm a big Power Girl fan, so I'm hoping PG's in that.
I'm looking right now to see.
Oh, God.
During the panel that the team will consist of Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and their new recruit Cyclone and Atom Smasher. That's a pretty small team, and there are some notable absences, but Johnson did point out that he didn't want to give away too much as such an early stage. So it is a possibility that we will still get other ones. I know that there was a couple of characters that people were clamoring for, but again, this movie's in pre-production. It really hasn't gone into anything.
They got to have big hitters for that movie then, because if it's JSA big hitters are like Green Lantern, Power Girl, maybe one or two other ones. Dr. Light, sure, but like not Dr. Light.
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate, yes, but like other than that, man, they don't really have big hitters, especially if they go against Black Adam. So
yeah,
here's Hoffman.
There was a small panel yesterday between the director of Aquaman, James Wan, and one of its actors, Patrick Wilson. And in the panel, it was slipped that there is going to be an Aquaman 2, and we are going to see the Ocean Master make his return in the sequel.
Really?
That was, of course, Patrick Wilson played Orm, aka Ocean Master, which was
the
Arthur Curry's half brother.
Yeah, half brother. And it was okay. So here's the bigger question: is Amber Heard coming back as Mera?
They have yet to say officially what they're going to do with Amanda Heard.
Yeah, okay. Amber Heard.
I'm sorry. Obviously, with the fallout of her and
Johnny
Depp's divorce and all that
abuser.
So, because it's come out that they both were up to no good, but that Amber Heard more so.
Yeah, but when you slice up a guy's finger, well, that is aside from the fact, but yeah, they were both pretty crappy, but at the same time, one didn't profit off of throwing the other one down the bus and riot a movement that was supposed to signify that you're part of that movement when you really debut. Okay, but we'll
in
go
that
with
movement, I think, and that should be a testament to what probably is inevitably going to be Amber's fate is that movement, aka #MeToo, has basically thrown her out.
I'm hoping they did. Yeah, they should have.
But yeah, so anyways, there is going to be an Aquaman 2. It was kind of a foregone conclusion, but again, no official release date has been announced. However, a sequel that has received a release date, it's being moved from April of 2022 to November of 2022, and that, of course, is the movie starring I just completely drew a blank on his name. I just keep calling him Chuck.
Oh, you talking about Shazam?
Shazam.
See, I know what you're talking about when you say Chuck. Like, oh, you're talking about Shazam. Okay.
Shazam. Fury of the Gods will get a November 4th, 2022 release. A fun little panel yesterday. I highly recommend it if you can sneak over to DCFandome.com and watch any of the panels, but also you can search it out on YouTube after we're done. But I would put it on here, but it's really long. It's over an hour long, but kind of cool. The entire cast pretty much coming back, and they're adding, I think, a really underrated comedic actor from back in our day as kids. Sinbad is going to be in the sequel, the Shazam sequel.
Wait, what time?
What's up?
Sinbad?
Sinbad.
Wait, which Sinbad's in it?
Sinbad, like from like Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
Okay. So no word on what character he is going to play. But again, Shazam Fury of the Gods will be making its debut on November 4th, 2022. So I'd imagine that we're going to see a go into production here. Zachary Levi, who I was thinking about. Levi was joined by co-stars Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Glazer, during the panel yesterday. Will be kind of hinted at that the Marvel family will be battling Mr. Mind and Dr. Sivana. So yeah,
Marvel family.
Well, that's people don't realize is that's where the name that was the name of the group. It was the Marvel family.
Yep.
When of course Shazam was originally called Captain Marvel.
That's right. Yeah.
Or they lost the rights to it when. God, who was I can't remember. There's a really cool documentary. If you still have DC Universe, there's a 1 hour documentary on Shazam that you can watch that talks about the history of Captain Marvel, and then he became Shazam.
Yeah. Hey, Kev.
Yes.
Kev, should we go to the biggest hitter of the day then?
Well,
the biggest hitter.
We're still missing one.
Okay.
We got to go. We got to show our girls some love.
That's what I'm saying. That's the biggest hitter.
Well, I thought you were going to go with the big one. But then again, after hearing what you said about Zack Snyder, maybe he's not the big one.
I mean, we can get, because I want us to end off on a good note.
Okay, then let's skip Wonder Woman. Let's go to the Justice League. The Snyder Cut official trailer hit the internet yesterday. Again, how do you sell a movie? You put out a really good trailer. It was announced yesterday that Zack Snyder's Justice League director's cut will get a release in spring of 2021, officially on HBO Max, in a 4-part release. So we're not getting one gigantic movie. We're going to get it in 4 parts. So without further ado, I don't know if this is going to make the movie better. There are some cool parts about it. But here is the trailer for the 2018 movie Justice League. We're getting the director's cut next year.
So Snyder Cut was actually 4 different movies.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really
Justice League right there.
For music, do you? It goes like this.
And of course, right off the bat, we did get to see Darkseid.
The minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Okay, I did notice that he's got the Aquaman boots on, kind of.
Yeah.
My Superman.
couldn't
I
feel.
love
So I
Batfleck.
tried to touch. I've told the truth. I didn't come to fool you.
What was that? Freaking.
Who's that, Glaive?
Is it Corvus Glaive?
That's what I'm saying.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Oh, wait.
This was cool right here. I remember this part.
Now, that is
a better looking Steppenwolf.
Better looking Steppenwolf.
I can never get over Flash running. I can never get over every minute Flash running.
Unfortunately, I still think that the best version of the Flash is on the TV show. I like Ezra Miller. I like him. So the hashtag Snyder Cut.
Fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Okay. I'm still going to see it. Just to see Black Suit Superman.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. It's... that's my second time watching that one. Why don't you take over, because this might be my rat of the day.
Again, how do you sell a bad movie? Make a good trailer. I like I've always been a fan of that song, Hallelujah. But then again, I've been a fan of the original, and I've been a fan of the oh my gosh, I can't think of the a cappella group that redid it a couple of years ago. But good choice on the trailer. I think it was I liked it. I think it was interesting, but I don't think you're going to that's the problem with everyone. Oh, hashtag guys, give us the Snyder Cut, blah blah blah. The problem I have with the Snyder Cut is I think what's inevitably going to happen is you're going to put a gigantic red bow on a still steaming pile of dog shit.
Yep.
There was so much promise in Justice League. There was so much promise in Batman versus Superman. There was a lot of promise in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I still don't like Wonder Woman as much as everybody else does, because I think it still has the stink of Zack Snyder on it. With that said, I think that this potentially could be better than what we got in theaters. It's not a good movie when you lose me 5 seconds into the movie. The cell phone footage of Superman in the opening scene of Justice League, and you can tell the digitalized face, and then the bad grin later on. It was just so bad. If you can't do it right, then don't do it. Postpone it. Wait to reshoot it. Push a start date. I mean, at this point, again, hindsight's 2020. I think that DC would have pushed it to make it better. And it's really unfortunate what happened to Zack Snyder and his family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know he lost his daughter in the middle of that. So who knows what was going on in his mind when he was filming. And you bring in Joss Whedon, who is a great writer, who is a good director, a good genre creator. I don't think this was the right fit for the two of them, with Snyder and Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that both of them come in with a very chauvinistic aura of them. And, it was just, I think it was just, people were just going to hate on it. Again, I'll see it. How bloated is this movie going to be that it needs a 4-part, or are they just going to release it in 1-hour chunks? So I don't know. And again, I'm with the audience on this one. And at the same time, could they have done it right? Because we're talking about hashtag Mustachegate. People are clamoring, okay, if you're gonna reshoot the movie, if you're going to put Kal-El in the black suit, and you're going to do the resurrection storyline, in comic book form, why not the mullet? And I'm like, yes, please put Henry Cavill in a mullet. They didn't. He's still the straight-laced, slick back. And it was funny, was I was reading somewhere, they said, why didn't you put Kal-El in the mullet in the first place? And they said, get this, it was too much Christ-like. Wait, what? You're bringing a being back from the dead, a la the Lord and Savior himself? And he said, and because he's going to have long flowing hair, it's too Christ-like.
Wait. So this is from the same guy who made Man of Steel, who literally was at a church with Christ right behind him saying that, why should I save the world? And a preacher looking at him saying, you should, who started his ministry, quote unquote, for trying to save this world at 33 years old. And him having a mullet is too Christ-like.
Yes. Yeah, I've read that he, again, I was trying to find the article. I remember reading it a while back, that, and a lot of fans too were the same thing. Fans were like, no, you can't have the mullet. And I'm like, why not?
We basically have space. He's like, Superman is basically Space Jesus already. Like
Yeah,
that's, oh my gosh, dude.
He's always been labeled that.
He's always been labeled like, so. If you finish your point, you should finish.
No. So, anyways, like I said, I'm going to see it. My takeaways from it is you still have a lot of what made Justice League bad in the movie. You're not going to make Justice League better by making it bloated and longer and getting to tell the dark side story, because what you should have done is set up the universe in the first place. Don't try to play catch up with Marvel. If you're going to quote copy Marvel, then copy Marvel and spend 10 years establishing an overarching universe, much like comic books do. You know, in the comic books, okay, you had Superman, who was created in 1939. You have Batman that was created in like 43 or maybe even longer than that. So you have golden age characters created along the lines of the Green Lantern, of Wonder Woman, of the Flash. You have all these massive characters that were created in comic book form over decades. And then you got to the Justice League in the 60s and the 70s. You remember, people don't realize that the Justice League came late. Same thing with the Avengers. You had Captain America, who was created by Joel Simon and Jack Kirby. Wasn't even a Marvel property. Iron Man didn't come until the 60s. Hulk was the 60s. Ant-Man was the 60s. All these characters. The Vision technically was the Human Torch, which was the original superhero, the first character that Marvel ever created, back in the 30s and stuff like that. And then the Avengers came out, I think, in the late 60s, early 70s. So take that same formula and put it in cinematic. They did in the same cinematic form. Marvel created Iron Man, did the Incredible Hulk, did Thor, did Captain America, hinted at the Avengers getting together, and then said, no, the Avengers initiative was scrapped. And within the Avengers movie, it wasn't until the end of the movie that the, quote, Avengers were created. And here you're trying to push characters that weren't even established yet. Wonder Woman didn't even have her own standalone film. Flash didn't. People don't associate, at least the mass audience doesn't associate Cyborg with the Justice League. I mean, for the most part, to me, the Justice League is what's right behind you. Flash, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman, the big hitters. I know what they were trying to do, think outside the box and stuff like that. And they couldn't use Green Lantern because they didn't want to be associated with the flop that was Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, even though Zack Snyder was thinking about adding Ryan Reynolds to the Snyder Cut. To put a bow on it, the Justice League was a ambitious project from the get-go. It was never executed properly. DC should have let their universe flesh out. I think that's one of the reasons why people go like, well, where's the continuity in the DCEU? There is none, because they've never established continuity.
Yeah.
And now it's all over the place. Oh, and then Aquaman too. I forgot about Aquaman.
Yeah.
And by the way, too, for all the haters out there that want to bash on Arthur Curry's portrayal by Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I like him. Jason Momoa plays the character well. Maybe I didn't read the comic books. Maybe he doesn't fit the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Prince of the ocean. I like Jason Momoa.
We'll have our own podcast just about Aquaman and how Jason Momoa is actually, for me, the best depiction of what you're supposed to find as a being that probably lived in the water near the water for majority of his life.
Yeah.
Okay, tag me in, coach. Tag me into this. Just tag me in.
All right, go right ahead, bro. You're in.
Okay. So here's my original interpretation of Justice League. Justice League is basically the highest pinnacle, the highest upper echelon pinnacle of what you can get with a Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
That's a very harsh critique. I understand that. But when you try to make something in response to another thing, this is what you get. This is exactly what you get with the original Justice League. Now, how you're trying to add 4 more hours of fluff and bloat to an already horrible knockoff, I have no clue.
Yeah.
So basically what we're getting now is just basically 4 hours of Justice League with just a serious Justice League, with no comedy whatsoever, no light moments, no moments of brevity, none of that, no moments of brevity. It's just serious face all the way through, because that's what Zack Snyder does. No serious moments, no joking moments, no light moments, just a lot of like brooding and awe and we're supposed to have some type of existential moment and think of like, oh, we're much bigger than this. And that was his whole story with Batman or Superman, that I can't believe how is Superman for us, and Superman was just brooding. Dude, you're a superhero who saved the world about 15 times that day. Yeah, he's for you. Stop trying to make it as it is, man. Like these dumb and horrible existential, crisis existence bullcrap that Snyder has been doing the last 15 years of his career, starting from Sucker Punch. Hell, we can even go to 300, right? And try to have these like nonchalant, horrid, well, not nonchalant, but these horror representations of like who we're supposed to be as a person and a being, and we're like, he has that in every single one of his movies, all the way from 300, Sucker Punch, Watchmen to these current DC run.
Yeah.
And I understand that, he's trying to do something with it, but if it didn't work your last 3 movies, bro, don't do it with an established franchise. Don't. And now you're going to have about 4 hours of stuff. I'll watch the first one. I might skim through the next ones, but I'm probably getting mad.
Probably.
I'll get mad. I'll probably get mad with the guy who's been, doing a horrid disservice to a bunch of characters that I love. I absolutely love and respect, and I cannot. The greatest thing he has done for the DC universe is give me a proper version of Arthur Curry for me.
And and he also, I will say this, and we now have seen the Robert Pattinson Batman costume. I still say that the Batfleck costume is probably the best. Is probably my favorite. But my very favorite. So I really, giving us the Jason Momoa, Arthur Curry, giving us the Batfleck costume. I actually liked the Batmobile in the Snyderverse. The Superman costume grew on me. Wasn't a fan of the scales at first, but it is what it is.
I like the casting. I like the casting of Henry Cavill as Superman. I just don't like the acting that's been done. Not because of Henry Cavill. It's just more so the direction of which Superman is being put out. Like Henry Cavill is a great pick, absolutely great.
Oh, absolutely.
And and the thing that baffles me at this point too, especially after watching Witcher, he would have been a much better convincing Batman than Superman.
Maybe.
And that surprised the hell out of me. Like, yo, like the brooding was there, the internal dialogue in a person was there, and so why? Like, I get that you want the guy with the chin and the chiseled jaw and jacked up looks to basically be Superman, and he looked great. He looked great for the part. Don't get me wrong, man. It's just that the direction he was taking, I thought there was gonna be a growth right after Man of Steel. There wasn't. He was basically the same character, but now people are hating on him because like, oh, we don't know if he's for us. And he was basically New 52 Superman.
Yeah.
Where New 52 Superman was very much like, about himself, very emotional and all this stuff. Like, no, dude, we need Superman.
It should be noted that Henry Cavill is very much interested in coming back to portray the Man of Steel in future DC related properties. There's a possibility he could end up in Flashpoint. And by the way, again, just for note, because I know I was having some conversations with some people online. We don't know if that's the name of the movie, but just so there's less confusion, the Flash movie starring Ezra Miller that is going to go into production, so it's not confusing with the TV side. We're going to refer. I'm always going to refer to the Flash movie as Flashpoint. So just I know I got some people yesterday. I was on some Facebook groups and stuff like that. And people are like, why do you keep calling it Flashpoint? Because technically that's when they first announced it's what it's going to be about. And was the working title originally. There's no official name yet, but we'll see. So yeah, Zack Snyder cut coming out next year. It is, it was rumored, I guess it's official now. It's going to be a 4-part series. We don't know if it's going to be 1 hour increments. We don't know if it's going to be a 6-hour movie or a 6-hour series, an 8-hour series. We don't know yet. We'll cross that bridge as we get closer to the release next spring.
Here's the thing: I will gladly eat crow if the movie's good.
Yeah, gladly. And you and I both agreed that Wolf, was it Wolf? Not Wolfenstein.
It's Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf's is a lot. He looked a hell of a lot better, and the Dark Side, whatever you want to say, looks pretty cool. He's not the Kirby creation that we know and love, but he's the cinematic version. Pardon my friend, he fucked up Doomsday so bad. Oh, it just still leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
That's what I'm like, dude, like that already. Like it should have been Batman versus Superman, and then Doomsday would have been a one-off, somewhat like down the line.
They should have done Death of. They should have done another movie before they did. I have no problem with the climax of Justice League being bringing Superman back, having it be the return of Superman. But there's so much you could have done. There was so much meat on the bone that you could have done that led up to.
Here was I saw the game plan. It was supposed to be Wonder Woman first. After Superman, Wonder Woman. And then Batman movie, then Batman vs Superman, because Wonder Woman was in there. And then after that Batman vs Superman was done, Superman 2 or 3, probably Superman 2, right? Where he fights Doomsday, dies, and then Justice League. That was the original game plan. Even
though people who've read the Death of Superman book, the Dan Jurgens run, obviously the Justice League had already existed, but that's neither here nor there. Because they have so much meat on the bone they could have easily done. Could you imagine a cinematic version of the Reign of Superman? I mean, just what they could have done with, because they're talking about doing with Flashpoint. Real quick, and I think we hit on this a little bit earlier, but Flashpoint, they're talking about doing a lot of cameos in. Could you imagine them doing Funeral for a Friend in cinematic version? I mean, we kind of got it a little bit with the ending of BVS, with Wonder Woman, with Diana Prince, Bruce Wayne being there, but I mean, having a flushed out. I mean, what we got at the end of Endgame.
Dude, we could have had Teen Titans. We could have had Teen Titans movie. That's gosh. Because Batman, the Batman vs Superman was supposed to encourage, like, okay, we lost a Robin.
Yeah.
And then it was supposed to be this.
That's right. Dick Grayson.
Like all these Yeah, no, not Dick Grayson. It was probably Tim. It was probably Jason Todd.
Well, who dies in
That was the
Funeral for a
thing.
Friend? Tim Drake.
No one does.
No, who's
Tim
the
Drake
Robin
died.
that's killed in not Funeral for a Friend?
Oh,
in Death
oh,
of the
that
Family.
the original. That family was Jason Todd.
Okay,
Jason Todd.
yes, the rumored Robin who is referenced in Batman versus Superman is Jason Todd.
That's
Is
what I'm
Jason
saying.
Todd? That's
And
right.
so you
right.
had all these. You had all these spirits. You had all these lines come into play that was supposed to be for extended elsewhere, but you try to fit all that stuff, basically 3 to 4 movies, maybe 5 movies in one movie.
Yeah, and also too the Batfleck. Batfleck is, like I said, we said before, is the chiseled, the grizzled vet, which means, and I think it was even hinted at that Batman had been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
So you have, like JR said, potentially, since you hinted at there are Robins that exist in the Snyderverse, Jason Todd.
Yeah.
That before Jason Todd, you had to have Dick Grayson because Jason Todd was number 2.
Yep.
So you had Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake,
and then 4th is Damian.
So like I said, there's so much. They've left so much meat on the bone. But like I said, I think we've mentioned this, but we'll talk about it again. Again, Flashpoint is very much going to be a cameo fest, where they're going to have callbacks to the Batfleck. Henry Cavill's supposed to be in it. There is talk of having, or actually I think it's almost done, that Michael Keaton's going to be it. They're trying to get Christian Bale. There's a possibility we could see Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, in Flashpoint. We don't know. They're talking about loading this up and being a very cameo-esque movie, to the point now that Sam Raimi and Kevin Feige are really kind of redoing the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange.
Yep.
And Dan and I were talking about this off the air, that it is rumored that America Chavez could make her Marvel Cinematic Universe debut in the Multitude of Madness.
Finally.
And that the reason they'll explain it is that the multiverses will converge on one another, and you could see characters that were in other universes come to the main Earth 616, which is the MCU, the MCU Earth, and we could see the beginning of Secret Wars, maybe. So
if that happens, I'm telling you, man, convergence style is going to happen. That means Ultimate Universe is going to pop it with 616 again, and that means we might have Miles Morales. We might have a full-on contingency of Sony Spider-Man with Marvel Spider-Man. Have boom there. That would have been nice. That would have been a good callback to have. And so if you have America Chavez, that means New Avengers coming about, and then that string of things that could happen.
I totally think that we're going to get new Avengers, or Young Avengers. I think we're going to have that's going to happen, which is whether or not we're going to see Riri Wilson, or we're going to see an Iron Lad with Tony's daughter. Who knows? But
we might see actually. Then now that you put it, we might have Iron Lad with what's the name? Tony's other kid from Iron Man 3. What's the name?
Oh yeah. The mechanic. I can't think of his name, but yeah.
I keep on hearing Harley. There you go, Harley.
Harley. Yeah.
And I keep on hearing that him and
Tony's daughter. Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. I'll think of his actual name, but then but him,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, and the daughter. That's gonna possibly be a trio. We don't know, but then those are great possibilities to have. That's what DC should have done.
Yeah,
this is a great comparison. This is compare and contrast, right? When you have all these lines out, you can pick and choose which one because you've done the right groundwork correctly. You can have these strings.
Yeah. Well, this brings we could bash on Zack Snyder all day long and just be red in the face. So let's, as JR said, let's end on a strong point. Probably one of the most talked about trailers yesterday was one of the first ones to come out, and that is Gal Gadot's second full-length feature. It has been one of the longest worked on DC movies. They've been dealing with this movie. I think this has been talked about for 2 or 3 straight Comic-Cons. It's Wonder Woman 84. And we do, well, I'm not going to spoil it. Let's do the share screen here. Let's talk we'll talk about this afterwards or as we're going along. Here is the world premiere Well, it was yesterday actually. Here's the DC Fandome trailer for Wonder Woman 84. Let's hit play.
This world is not yet ready for all that you will do.
Audio check.
Yep.
Okay.
The time will come, Diana.
Ooh, get to see the old school costume kind of being flushed out. Ride the lightning.
Yeah, that's
Love
interesting.
that.
Can't believe they did call back to that.
Citizens of the world, I'm here to change your life. Anything you want. Anything you dream of, you can have it.
And the reveal. Boom, there he is. He's back.
Diana, look at you. It's like not one day has passed.
I don't want to be like anyone. I want to be an apex predator. You've always had everything, while people like me have had nothing. Well, that's my turn.
Got a very Batman Forever vibe.
Get used to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I've never been one for rules. The answer is always more.
Pedro!
Oh, is that Pedro Pascal?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't recognize him.
Never find us.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar.
Will they shoot at us?
So what happens when you have a World War II or World War I pilot?
Yeah. Pedro Pascal, man.
And here it is.
Chitara.
Cheetah.
Chitara.
Is it Cheetah? Was it Cheetah? Or what?
It's Cheetah. Chitara is another Justice League character, though. I think. Yeah.
You know, I'm not so keen on this one. I figure you are, but you know what? I'm ready to go.
I think we can do better.
Parachute pants?
Yeah.
Does everybody parachute now?
That was like the line of the. Everyone at our house yesterday was talking about parachute pants yesterday.
Oh man, I'm so glad I got Chris Pine. Here's actually, I want to make this tidbit, right? I feel, and great trailer overall, but I feel as if the Wonder Woman series is very much DC's take on Captain America.
Yes, I agree with you. I totally see it.
Yeah, because it's also if to me Wonder Woman is if Peggy was with Cap the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that because I wanted Peggy to be with Cap the whole time.
Yeah.
But that was his own different type of drama and intrigue. But like this one, man, I'm like, yo, one of the better parts of for me the last Wonder Woman movie was that type of like bond / relationship / like wanting to show this person what the world looks like in Chris Pine to her and like say that, hey, there's men and then we're fighting this great war, the war to end all wars. And now you see this crazy basically the reverse now of like, okay, so we don't know how we come back. We don't know if they Bucky Barnes them and like put them on some ice. We don't know.
Yeah.
But basically now it's the opposite where she shows him the world. And I'm like, I'm here for it, dude. Like the trailer was great. I can't believe they made some crazy callbacks, like her riding the lightning whipping lightning, dude. And that's a crazy callback. But
it's funny. It's like you mentioned because I was talking about someone the other day, and the constant comparison between DC and Marvel is the obvious Batman and Iron Man are there. Two billionaires who have no superpowers.
Yeah.
But they, out of necessity, created their superhero alter ego. Yeah. People want to compare Captain America and Superman, and then on down the line. And really and truly, I think the comparisons are mixed up there. You hit on something right there. Is I think Wonder Woman and Captain America are your equal. And that your Superman and Thor are your comparisons. You have two gods.
Yeah.
Come from outer space.
Yeah.
They require outside assistance for their powers. Thor power derives from maybe some people say Mjolnir, some will say it's always
friendship.
A lot of things. Obviously, Superman derives his powers from Earth's yellow sun.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a comparison between Green Lantern and Thor. Who knows? Anyways, but yeah, people don't put that comparison down. That maybe that Captain America is more.
It's more Wonder. I'm telling you,
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
I've been on this thing for a I've been on this comparison for a very, very long time because, like, one, you had the first movie is very much like, okay, I saw it. Like, I saw World War One.
Yeah.
Like right there, like, okay, cool. Captain Marvel happened in World War II. You have this very much this character who wants to do great, but his body isn't there.
Yeah.
And he is given this serum to do great things, and he wants to go in and do not just great things, but he wants to do his part and basically to help out humanity, right? You have that great story, great uplifting story of a man who just wants to do his best in the time that he got. Same thing with Roman. She see in World War One. She's found out there's crazy world going on, and that she have all this power, but not doing nothing with it. So she leaves her place of comfort to go out and save the world. Like, these are very much the best direct comparisons between Marvel and DC. Now how Wonder Woman 2, if that's going to be, is that going to be DC's basically freaking Winter Soldier? That'd be crazy if it was.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of those scenes are very similar to Winter Soldier. I mean, you have them, walking down the we call it the what were they at when they were walking down the it's in DC.
Oh,
it's
the mall. Yeah.
No, not the mall, but like the it's basically the same place where
the reflection pool.
Yeah, the reflection pool, right? So we all know the famous scene where freaking Cap goes on your left. Same scene on their side. So you have kind of like just even similarities of that, right? We could point out to similarities of that, even though they're basically in the same they're in Washington DC. Cool, right? But it's very visually apparent that they are kind of like each other. They're very much alike. If you can follow me there.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be time to tell it. If is Wonder Woman 84 gonna be their Winter Soldier? If it is, dude, then they got a hit. Automatic hit. It looks good. It looks really, really good. There's and even with freaking Cheetah, you have this character that is kind of still kind of revealed, kind of to have this realm, this shadow of who is this character? We don't know who the character is, what she's all about, and she's basically the opposite of freaking Wonder Woman. How is that not Bucky and Cap?
Yeah.
Like, you can go beat for beat about this, and it's fine. It is fine. And then you have freaking Chris Pine as I forget his name in the movie, but you have Chris Pine in there.
Yeah, I just had it.
Yeah, he's basically be Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, in the movie. Like, come on, dude.
Just got this sent to me from a friend of mine who is saying, going back to Batman real quick before we wrap things up on the DC fandom. A eagle-eyed fan kind of went frame by frame on the Batman trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part where there's a card opened up, and it's a riddle hinting at that one of the main villains is the Riddler.
Yeah.
But they freeze framed the actual card, and it says, "From your secret friend," and it's the letters WHOO question mark, like who, like a certain kind of sound made, and you can faintly see the outline of a creature similar to that we saw at the end of the Gotham Knights trailer. It's an owl. So it's hinted at, and the clue inside the card, you're a part of this too. How am I a part of this? You'll see. could it be unveiled that the big bad in the Batman is not the Penguin, it's not the Riddler, it's the Court of Owls. So again, I want to thank you to our eagle-eyed friend Phil, who sent that in to kind of, hey, did you see this? And it just happened to be while we're recording here on a Sunday afternoon. But that kind of wraps up the meat and potatoes of DC Fandome, and I'm sure we will do a part 2 on this in about a month, because as the countdown, we'll take a look at this right now. Again, as we're recording this on Sunday afternoon, the DC Fandome official fan page has the countdown to 19 days, 17 hours, and 28 minutes till the next DC Fandome, where we explore the multiverse when DC Fandome returns in 20 days. So, explore the multiverse? Gee, I wonder what that means. So, a lot of stuff to talk about. The idea that we had for today's episode, I'm sure we'll see next week.
Probably.
Again, give us your comments, your feedback, your theories. What do you think about all these different things that got flushed out? What was your favorite part of DC Fandome? What would you like to see them talk about in 20 days?
We barely even talked about some of the other stuff that was talked about today too. We were talking about like what the Flash is gonna like. Jim Lee and a bunch of the people that did the panel where they figured out what's gonna happen after the Flash did possible Flashpoint. So we didn't talk about that yet, but guys, like what Kevin said, just let us know in the comments, man. What you guys liked about.
And maybe we'll do we'll put a little, we'll button it up a little bit, a little Watchmen call back there. Maybe we'll button it up a little bit at the beginning of next week's episode if more stuff gets flushed out. Because like I said, what was supposed to be a quick news and notes on this week's episode about what happened this past week with DC, obviously with the Batmans being announced, with there was a bunch of other stuff that got released. But then, like I said, DC Fandome just went freaking blew up yesterday. So we had to reboot our idea for this week. So, guys, again, hit us up on social media, Facebook and Instagram at PS Comics I Love You, Twitter at PS Comics I Love the letter U. You can hit me up at Voice of Reason 23. You can hit JR up at also not JR Comics 42. Dude, let us know what you think. I did post a bunch of comic books. We're not going to do the pull list and mail call this week, just because we're at about 2.5 hours of recording right now. But you could check it out. I posted a bunch of stuff.
Brand.
Yeah. At Voice of Reason 23 on Instagram, you can see the latest stuff that I posted. I posted about 4 weeks worth of books. Some stuff we mentioned here on the podcast. Some stuff we hadn't shown yet. JR, you're always posting stuff. But guys, go out there, support your local comic book store, wherever they may be. Here in the Desert Oasis Comics, Comic Asylum, Interstellar Comics, show them some love. They're hitting the tough times right now. And hey, we might find out this week if we're off the naughty list here in Riverside County. So we might get to go out and sort of be normal human beings again.
Hopefully.
I want to close on this. I've been thinking about this, and I had a little conversation with Orlando Harding, who is a comic book creator. He's the guy who brought us Fantasia Con over at Indio. He has some stuff going to Netflix. We are definitely going to have him on the podcast in the near future to talk about that. Orlando is a African-American gentleman. It's been a rough go the last 3 or 4 months for that community.
Let's put it lightly.
To put it lightly. And he has been an outspoken a part of the movement, so to speak. I can't stress enough, guys, that first off, this universe, this genre, this core, this group of nerds, we know no race, we know no sexual orientation, we know no creeds, we know no religions. We are all as one. White poster boy, white boy. We've got the Filipino over to the. I don't care. JR and I make jokes all the time about, because a lot of it has to do with food, because the dude JR makes good food. His family makes good food. I'll tell you one thing. If it comes down to it, it's not about race. It's not about religion. It's not about the skin color. It's about dadgum, man, food. I like food. But this podcast, this genre, we don't know boundaries. Yeah, we talk about guys like the Black Panther being a major African-American character. We talk about, John Henry Irons, Steel. We'll talk about Black Adam. We'll talk about America Chavez being a Puerto Rican lesbian character. Iceman being one of the first gay characters. Wonder Woman being female. Talk about Silk being a first Korean. So, yeah, it's cool and everything, but hey, we don't know boundaries. Be nice to people. Screw boundaries. Forget what people believe in. Forget about that. Just get along, man. I'm so sick and tired of the hate. I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday, and yes, I referenced the master himself, Master Yoda. Okay? Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. If that's not a quote to live by, and yes, I did just quote the bad Star Wars, but still, it is. Call me a liar, man. Is it not stuff to live by? I mean, Master Yoda said it himself. I mean, there's no room for hate, guys. We could sit here and argue. I'd rather argue about who shot first than other stuff, because there's bigger. What's up?
That was a Star Wars reference, guys. That was a Star Wars reference. If y'all didn't catch that, but good.
But I mean, come on, man. I mean, I would rather argue about that stuff than other things. Like, I was raised to know. Someone asked, let's put it this way. Someone asked me one time, "Hey, Kevin, did you ever go to again, this is a quote from a friend of mine, so go with me on this. Okay. Did you ever go to school? How many black kids were in your class?" I had to think about it. And I went back in my yearbook. I was like, "Oh, yeah, I had a couple," but I never thought about it because I didn't know race. And I'm like, well, I was friend with Charles. That was a guy that was in my class. They were my friend. I look back and I went like, wow, I had a lot of Hispanic kids in my class. But I was like, they were just my friends. They weren't my black friend. They weren't my Mexican friend. They weren't my Asian friend. They were just my friend. I never was thought to. I never had those glasses put on. And so, guys, just be chill with one another. Enough with the hatred. Just be this, like, just argue about nerd stuff than argue about other crap. And the other thing is, do wear a damn mask. Be a superhero. Wear a mask. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it'll stop the virus or not. I know I've got family and friends that are in the medical industry. I don't know if you're willing to share, but I know JR does.
Finish. Just go ahead and finish your amazing point, my friend.
I'm just saying, be a hero. Wear a mask. It's going to save lives. What's it going to hurt? I mean, I'm having fun with it, bro. I mean, I got my Comic-Con mask that I got. My mother-in-law has made me some cool USC masks. Dude, I'm thinking about rocking. I'm trying to find a Bane one. I'm trying to, dude, watch JR's probably got one already. What's he got? What do we got here? What are we rocking? I can't. What's it say?
It says
dominate humbly.
Dominate humbly.
That's JR's quote right there, dude. That's hashtag right.
So, okay. So, are you
Rocket, bro.
Are you finished? All right. So, so here's I won't say it as politely as Kevin. I don't give a damn what you believe. Wear a goddamn mask.
Thank you. Period.
I don't care what you freaking believe. Wear a damn mask, because if you don't believe in the virus, whatever, believe in the fact that if you don't wear a mask, and the longer we have to go through this crap, the longer we have to continue to go through this crap.
This is the extra. You and I have been in school. This is the equivalent of our teacher saying, we can stand here all day until you shut up.
Basically, that's it.
We're going to be stuck in classroom. No recess, no lunchtime.
Bro, we might just have, like, I'm about legit just going to ask, like, let's do this podcast next week where, like, we just talk about not just, like, political stuff, but, like, how politics and comics or whatever have you, the political sphere, how they intermingle and how.
Hell yeah.
That's the whole thing. But, okay. But other than that, okay, here, just wear a damn mask, man. I don't care what you believe. I don't care. I don't care that you're anti-vaxxer, that you're this, you're that. Wear a mask because one, if you wear a mask, that means we have less time. They're gonna cut off our time from wearing that same freaking mask. You know what I mean? If you continually wear a mask now, it will stop you from wearing a mask 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to a year from now. Period. It is basic mathematics.
Yeah.
Basic. And so that's it.
What I don't get is the people in our genre that don't wear a mask. Dude, this is our ultimate chance to cosplay. Have fun with it.
Bro, okay, so
go ahead. Sorry about it.
So here. Okay, no. Just we live in California. Alameda, Orange County. We look at you and see your bullcrap and figure out why the hell we're still in this freaking horrible universe of what's going on, right? Wear a mask. I don't care what you believe in. Wear a mask so I don't have to wear a mask a year from now. So that you don't have to wear a mask from a year from now. That's the basic thing. The more you wear a mask, the less possible case we might have in 2-3 months, the less possible deaths we'll have, and so on and so forth. It's basic mathematics.
Thank you.
Period. Because by the time that it's 3-4 months from now, we were all wearing masks, possibly a vaccine's out. We all possibly get one, and that means you don't have to wear these freaking masks anymore unless, you want to be nice and cool and, very, just look like a badass like me, basically. So that's it.
Even though Batman doesn't wear a face mask.
Yeah. Yes. I don't wear hockey pads. But yeah. So
great callback, bro.
That's what I'm saying. See? So, but other than that, like to comment just briefly on your first topic, right? What you talked about, like just being nice to each other. I agree, dude. I wholeheartedly agree. Here's the thing that people are gonna like kind of probably monk me on, like, oh, he's why are you agreeing with the privileged white dude? Well, here is my point. It is because he's white, he's able to say that. Not because of his privilege, but more so because that's how he was raised. In the sense of like that's his view scope, right? And that's fine. That is perfectly normal. When you are a white individual in today's society, and you can say, I have friends, that's a good thing. And that those friends encompass the wide spectrum of whatever race we are, that's a good thing. Yeah. The reason why I say I am a person of color and I see color is because seeing color is entirely my whole freaking life. And that's fine. We can have the same conversation next week, and I intend to.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Kevin and I, we agree on a lot of things. Be kind to one another.
Yes.
Treat others the way you want to be treated, regardless of race, religion, creed, whatever. Period. Right? Cool. Awesome. Treat me in a way that you want to be treated. That is a normal freaking thing. And that's it. Treat each other with respect and wear a damn mask.
Yeah. It really boils down to that. And it was funny was like when I met JR, it was funny was like going back to when the very first time I met him, someone asked me, I remember someone later asked me, goes, well, what'd you think of him? And I go, what do you mean? He's a cool dude. Like we were sitting there, had a few adult beverages, talk about Batman and crap and trying to get JaVale drunk too. But like we were just having a good time. And someone goes, well, like, what do you think about him? Like he doesn't, and I remember someone asked me this straight up. He doesn't meet the stereotype. What's stereotype? Well, he's Filipino, right? Actually, no, I didn't. I had no idea. To be honest, because, and again, this is my stereotype. I'll throw myself under the bus because you're a big dude, and you I thought you were Samoan. And so again, that's my stereo. But yeah. I got to know you, and like I didn't the race and the creed. It didn't matter to me. You were just a cool dude that just liked comic book stuff and liked to have a good time and liked to drink and stuff like that. So it was just whatever that came first. I got to know you as a person in your background and your family, and that's just friends becoming friends. I didn't make your your race and this color of your skin first. It just kind of came up naturally in conversation. But I remember I told that person, I'm like, that wasn't the first thing that jumped out at me about JR. And that's the thing too, is like with comic book characters that tie it in, is I will throw myself under the bus. I'll end on this point and ties it into the conversation. I'll throw myself under the bus. I did not like the idea of oh my gosh, I can't think of his name now. The guy who plays the alter ego of the Falcon.
Oh, you talking about Rhodey?
No, not Rhodey. That's Iron Man.
Yeah, but Falcon. Yeah, the
Falcon,
basically his.
Anyways,
Falcon. Yeah.
I did not like the idea of Falcon becoming Captain America. Was it because he was black? Absolutely. I did not like the idea of there being a female Thor. I didn't like the idea of Iceman being gay. And a lot of it had nothing to do with gender or color of skin or sexual orientation. To me, it was, I looked at it from the other vantage point. Why would you want that? Why not just create an original character? But then I started reading the storylines. Iceman's still Iceman. He just likes dudes.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes no difference about him being a superhero. I read the Jason Aaron Thor books where Jane Foster, spoiler alert, is Thor. Holy shit. It's really good. And Falcon as Captain America has nothing to do with the color of his skin. I don't think it was given a fair shot from a writer standpoint, but the Captain America, Sam Wilson, the Captain America Sam Wilson storyline was actually ended up being pretty good. I don't think it was ever given a fair shot. And I'll throw myself under the bus. That probably about what I just said is probably why I wasn't given a fair shot. But I think in the long run, I see how they coexisted with the Steve Rogers storyline and actually ended up being really good. I actually really ended up enjoying Sam Wilson as Cap, and I look forward to seeing the Sam Wilson adaptation in Captain America and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. And I, again, humbly throw myself at the mercy of the court. I would not have been able to say that 6 years ago. But I was not as an educated comic book reader as I am now, and saying, okay, it makes sense. I will stand by my fact that I'm still not a huge fan of Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. That's just because it was poor directing, poor writing, and was not the right role for him. Yeah. And at the same time, I kind of support it because it had not been for that movie flopping, he would not have come to Marvel Studios and played a freaking amazing Killmonger.
That's true.
So that's my thing. I'll throw myself at the mercy of the court.
Hey, I'm telling you, we're gonna have this conversation again next week. Just more so, just well in depth, like why that'd be a great thing. Why we have these perceptions of like why? Because I know for me, I didn't like Thor being female. Not more so because like it was, not because it was Jane Foster. It was just more so like it felt like a throwaway type of thing. Like, okay, why don't you have Jane Foster have her own type of power type of thing, right? Rather than having because it also was the era, and it was also during that time when like it was very much Me Too, women's movement, and just wanting to have more women representation. In general, that's fine, but it was more so a hijacking of already established characters for me. That was it felt like. But then that again, we had this conversation.
We can have we'll have the woke episode maybe next week. So JR is having to go back to the writers room and rewrite probably next week's episode. So, but guys,
I'll crank out like 3 of them.
Guys, thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Again, you could do so by going to anchor.fm/PS Comics I Love You. Go to my YouTube channel. The link is in my Instagram page. It's also on our main Instagram page.
Yep.
The link is also on our podcast, audio podcast website. The only reason I say that because I don't have a formal YouTube changed their algorithms they updated their whole website and apps. So I used to have a custom URL. It's been changed. We have to get to a certain level to be able to customize that. So again, guys, like, subscribe, hit the bell button on our YouTube channel, share it with your friends, your family. Please support the YouTube channel. And the more this website, the more this show continues to grow, the more we can do with it. Again, thanks for JR for doing all the research that he does. He's really kind of like our executive producer on the show. But yeah, so maybe we'll do that next week. We'll do the woke episode.
Absolutely. Like we could put in some of this stuff, but yeah, this is definitely a good conversation, good topic to have because like I want to break this stereotype perceived on us as comic book readers and nerds of like, you know, we're already getting better at because when we're male comic book readers too. So there's a stereotype that I do want to break. Like, well, we're not as and we are very contrived and constricted in our ways of thinking. But yeah, we could definitely have that conversation next week.
I will tell you this one. We will the thing we will end on right now is I am telling you right now, the cure to systematic racism, this is the cure for systematic sexism, this is the cure for quote homophobia is comic book movies, because at the end of the day we all go in there. No, because if you think about the group that goes with us to Comic-Cons and into these movies, is all of those things wrapped into one, and we don't give a shit. We're just people enjoying good, bad, and indifferent comic book movies. We all love Endgame. We all hate Zack Snyder. Well, we don't hate. We dislike. We dislike Zack Snyder.
Absolutely. That's a great freaking point, guys. And to definitely kind of like, I know that we're kind of long now, but like, here's the thing. Like, we have a guy here. Like, we see Kevin, right? You see, you see a nerd, but also you see a family man. You know, two kids, a great wife, and just a great person in general. You have, and you see me. You think just like this big bulky dude that probably just fucking that just lifts all day and does nothing right. Well, you don't understand. I'm a comic book nerd. We're all these things. I'm also, first reveal of the time, I'm a pretty big BTS fan. What's up? I said it. Dynamite just came out like yesterday. He got 120. Yeah, I watched it. What's up? Fight me, son. We're ending it now. Later, guys.
This is the guy who introduced me to BTS, and it does not stand for behind the scenes. So
BTS,
we'll discuss
Korean boy band group. Bangtan, son.
All right, guys. Enjoy the podcast. Support the podcast. Thank you for everything you've done. Again, I'm Kevin Pillow, the voice of Reason 23. He's the Dark King, also at Not JR Comics 42. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Enjoy it. Thanks.
Peace.